أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين، ولا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين وحجته في العالمين، روح وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه فداء، واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم وغاصبي حقوقهم وجاحدي مناقبهم ومنكري فضائلهم من الآن إلى أبد الآبدين. Assalamu alaikum, my very esteemed viewers. Thank you so much for attending this show, and may Allah Almighty and Majestic and Exalted grant us His mercy and grant us His pardon and clemency and forgiveness in this month. And may He forgive the sins of our forefathers and our past relatives. And may He forgive the sins of our family members and our cherished ones. And may He enter us into His paradise with the intercession and with the companionship and friendship of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the holy Imams from his household, salamullahi alayhim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah. Ya Arham al-Rahimin, ya Arham al-Rahimin, ya Arham al-Rahimin, ya Mahmudu bihaqqi Muhammad, wa ya Ali bihaqqi Ali, wa ya Fatir al-Samawati wal-Ardina bihaqqi Fatimata al-Zahra, wa ya Muhsinu bihaqqi al-Hasan, wa ya Qadim al-Ihsani bihaqqi al-Husayn. نسألك ونقسمك صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. So today we are going to discuss the God of the Wahabis, the God of Ahl al-Hadith, the God of that denomination which constantly accuse all other denominations in Islam to be mushrik. In which kind of a deity, in which kind of a God do they believe? They believe in a monster. That's the truth of the matter. They believe in the monster, and they worship and they seek the pleasure and forgiveness of a monster that lives in their delusions and their imagination, and that which cannot be God, which cannot be Allah, which cannot be the creator of the heavens and the earth, for thousands and thousands of reasons explained in Quran and Sunnah and Hadith of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam, and their beliefs with respect to Allah, to the creator of the heavens and the earth, is so ludicrous, so stupid, so insane that they always hide their beliefs and they never engage in any discussion with respect to the identity of the Lord they worship, the attributes of the Lord they consider their creator. They never engage in any discussion to elaborate and to explain and to elucidate what are the attributes, what are the asma, the names and sifat, and what are the qualities of the Allah they believe in, because these qualities, these names, these attributes are the attributes and names and qualities of the devil himself, of a monster, of a Godzilla. If you followed my speeches so far on the subject, you have gotten the gist of their belief that Wahabis have some very weird ahadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not only the Wahabis, Ash'aris have it too. Mu'tazili have these ahadith too. Maturidis have these ahadith too. Ahnaf have these ahadith. Maturidis have these ahadith. However, they do not believe in them. Although these are Sahih Ahadith, yet they have that amount of sanity, that amount of intelligence to realize that we are going to be Ahlul Sunnah, but not this Sunnah. We are going to follow the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but not these peculiar ones, which are related to God, about Allah's sifat. So, the Umari school of thought, the Umari denomination, the denomination that has abandoned and forsaken Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and instead has decided to follow Sahaba, the first sacrifice they have paid, as they do not have any hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam with regard to Allah's attributes. They do not have any teachings from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam regarding Allah's existence. They do have some narrations, but these narrations, majority of Umaris do not follow and do not ascribe to, and they consider these ahadith to be false, although it's not sahih. Although the muhaddithin consider them sahih, nonetheless, they say it's easier for us to belie and accuse the narrators of these ahadith to be pagans and to be liars than to attribute them to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then believe in some stupid things and some insane things, some fool things, some pagan ideas and notions with respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are supposedly and purportedly have been uttered by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So what are these insane ideas? So we talked about many of these attributes in the previous our previous discussions with you, the running and sitting. Oh, running we did not discuss. Running we did not discuss. Did we discuss running and jogging? Probably not. I think we did not discuss in English. That was another language. Let me know in your comments, please, that whether we have discussed in English that God runs, and I've showed you the ahadith about his running and his jogging. Maybe I did, because I give speeches in different languages and I forget sometimes. Okay. So one of the attributes that this Godzilla, this illusionary Godzilla of the Wahabis has is the number of eyes. He has many, many eyes. He has lots of eyes. So he doesn't have two eyes. He has many eyes. And the proof for that is, excuse me. One moment, please. The proof for that is the verses of the Noble Quran, in which more than two eyes, more than three eyes are proved for God. Here. Surah Hud. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وَاصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا. This is an address from Almighty Allah to his prophet Noah alayhi salam, commanding him, وَاصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ. Build the ark, craft the ark, بِأَعْيُنِنَا, under our eyes. Now this أعين, this is جمع قلة. This form is the form of جمع قلة. Forgive my handwriting, because I'm writing with, I could write better than that, but at any rate, جمع قلة. جمع قلة means that it's between 3 and 10. Between 3 and 10. And that is if we consider أعين, أعين will be أفعل, so that will be جمع قلة. So he doesn't have two eyes. He has between 3 and 10. It could be 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Those are the number of his eyes. So he didn't say under my two eyes. Because in Arabic, it's different. For 2, you have a different form. For 3 plus, you have a different form. And 10 plus, there's a different form of words. Plurals are different in Arabic. Okay. And then also in Surah Mu'minun. This is verse number 27. فَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ. And verily, we send down a message. We send down a wahy, a revelation, to Nuh alayhi salam. أَصْنِعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا وَوَحْيِنَا. Build the ark under our eyes, the number of which is between 3 and 10. So we do not know specifically how many eyes, but it's definitely more than 2. Definitely more than 2. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 7, it could be 9, a number of eyes. And build the ark under our eyes and according to our message. And then also, which surah is this? Surah Al-Tur. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan al-rajim. Says the Lord, verse number 48. وَاصْبِرْ لِحُكْمِ رَبِّكَ فَإِنَّكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا. And remain steadfast. Remain steadfast. Per the order of your Lord. فَإِنَّكَ, for verily you are in our eyes. Again, a'yun is a form that clearly denotes not 2 eyes, 3 plus. 3 plus eyes. So it could be 3, or it could be 5, or 6, or 7, but it's definitely not 2. And there are the verses in the Noble Quran also. So there's not a single verse in the Noble Quran that says 2 eyes. All verses in the Quran which mention God's eyes are 3 plus. So that is a very ugly thing, obviously. Unless, like, there are some frogs in the world that have many eyes. There are some animals that have more than 2 eyes. Some spiders probably do. So that's about the eyes in Quran. And in Hadith, what about the eyes of the Lord in Hadith? Okay, that doesn't help much either. This is the book of Bukhari, published by Dar Hayat Turath al-Arabi. Here we go, page number 543. Kitab al-Jihad wa Siyar, Hadith number 3057. Here, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is talking about the Dajjal. Inni unzirkumu. Verily, I warn you of Dajjal. وَمَا مِن نَبِيٍّ إِلَّا قَدْ أَنذَرَهُ قَوْمَهُ. And there is no prophet, an apostle in the past who has not warned his nation about Dajjal. لَقَدْ أَنذَرَهُ نُوحٌ فِي قَوْمَهُ. Even Nuh alayhi salam, Noah, he warned his nation, his followers, about Dajjal at his lifetime, at that time, before the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Dajjal is not to come until the end times. But all the apostles before, they warn about Dajjal. وَلَكِنْ سَأَقُولُ لَكُمْ فِيهِ. However, I'm going to give you a peculiar, a specific mark in Dajjal that is going to identify him. أقول لكم فيه قولا لم يقله نبي لقومه. No other apostle has given this information to his nation. So I'm the first apostle that I'm giving you this information about Dajjal. تعلمون أنه أعور. And I inform you, and you are going to know that he is one-eyed. Dajjal is one-eyed. وأن الله ليس بأعور. However, the Lord is not one-eyed. So it doesn't help, brothers. So the Lord is not one-eyed, but he has several eyes. How many eyes? You should tell us, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because Quran says many eyes, over 3, between 3 and 10. So you're telling us that God, Allah, is not one-eyed. Okay. But we know for a fact he's not 2-eyed. So it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He could have an eye in the back of his head, who knows? Or 2 in the back of his head. He could have an eye in his chin, who knows? Right? Bukhari, hadith number 3,439. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam one day spoke about Dajjal, and he said, Inna Allah laysa bi'awar. God, Allah, is not one-eyed. Ala inna al-Masih al-Dajjal a'war. A'war al-ayn al-yumna. Dajjal is one-eyed. His right eye he has only one eye in his right side. His eye looks like a grape that's protruding, that's bulging out. كأنه عينه كأن عينه إنبة طافية. Like a bulging out grape. His eyes like that. Okay. But that's about Dajjal. About God, the only hadith there. God is that he is not one-eyed. Quran says he has many, many eyes. So there's no escape for Omaris, for Wahabis. Wahabis cannot escape that their God has what? Has several eyes. Several eyes. But now they're going to say it fits his majesty. Okay, fits his majesty. But it doesn't change the fact that he has many, many eyes. That is just a slogan, fits his majesty. That's just words, they don't have any meaning. And then let's talk about his hands. So he has one leg, but many hands. And he runs fast with one leg. Does he have a tail or he doesn't have a tail? Does he have sexual organs or he doesn't? Is he male or a female? Does he have both? Could he have both? So these are questions that perhaps in the future I'll talk about that. This monster God, does he have sexual organs? Does he engage in sexual activity? Does he rape the Hurul Ain? That's a very important question, right? One-eyed, one leg. Oh, I'm sorry, not one-eyed. Many eyes, several hands, one leg, a tail maybe. And then obviously his sexual organ is going to be huge because he's bigger than anything. Well, Quran says he doesn't take a girlfriend, but okay, you cannot not have a girlfriend. Obviously, you can be and rape somebody, right? And everything that he does is right. So even if he rapes, it fits his majesty. Oh, but we are going to talk about that in the future. Let's talk about his hands. Let's talk about his hands. So Quran talks about his hands in several places. The hands. At one place, Quran says he has one hand. But where he says one hand, it doesn't say he doesn't have more. So this is Quran, Surah Al-Fath. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الذين يبايعونك إنما يبايعون الله. Those people who are pledging allegiance to you, they are verily pledging allegiance to Allah. So this is a very sacred pledge of allegiance. You are pledging allegiance to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In reality, you are pledging allegiance and you are promising the Lord that you're not going to run away, that you're going to be faithful and you're going to be loyal and you're going to be obedient, and then you're going to sacrifice your life for Islam, for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you are not going to flee from battles. That was the bay'ah. So those people who do bay'ah with you, they are verily doing bay'ah, they're pledging allegiance to Allah. Okay, how? Yadullahi fawqa aydihim. Allah's hand is above. Now he's holding all the hearts in his two fingers, right? Or maybe it's another hand because he has so many hands. So his hand is above their hands. We don't see this in the sky above there. He's holding his hand. So bay'ah is happening to him also. فَمَنْ نَكَثَ فَإِنَّمَا يَنْكُثُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ. Verily, those Sahaba who will definitely are going to violate this bay'ah, they are going to do in their own harm. They are going to violate, they're going to be individuals from Sahaba who are doing bay'ah under the tree of Ridwan. And Allah informed us in Surah Al-Fath. that this pact, this bay'ah, pledge of allegiance, would be violated. And who will they be? Of course, they'll be Sahaba, the same people who did bay'ah. So whomsoever will eventually, they are going to violate and infringe this bay'ah, it will be to their own harm. وَمَنْ أَوْفَى بِمَا آحَدَ عَلَيْهِ اللَّهَ فَسَيُؤْتِيهِ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. And whoever is going to fulfill his pledge of allegiance, Allah will grant him a very great and grand reward. So in this verse, you see one hand, mention of one hand. And Surah Al-Ma'idah, it talks about two hands. So where it was mentioning one hand, it was not saying he doesn't have two hands or three hands. It was just saying one hand is above. Now, there could be more hands. It's not talking about those, right? Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 64. وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةٌ. The Jews said, Allah's hand is tied up, is chained, is fettered. غُلَّتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَلُعِنُوا بِمَا قَالُوا. No, Jews' hands are fettered, and they have been damned for what they have alleged Allah to be. بَلْ يَدَاهُ مَبْسُوطَةً. Rather, his two hands are stretched out. Two hands are stretched out. يُنْفِقُ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He grants as he wishes. So in the first verse, we saw that Allah has one hand, but it doesn't deny that he doesn't have a second hand or third hand. In this verse, he says his two hands are extended. So does he have more hands? Perhaps, but two of his hands are extended like this. So this monster is always running, obviously, and their two hands are extended. يُنْفِقُ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He grants and he spends as he wishes. Okay, now more hands. The important thing is, how many hands does he have? Only two hands? No. He has lots of hands. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا خَلَقْنَا لَهُمْ مِمَّا عَمِلَتْ أَيْدِينَا أَنْعَامًا. Haven't they thought, haven't they seen, haven't they pondered that we have created for them أَنْعَامًا, cattle. We have created cattle. Created cattle from what? مِمَّا عَمِلَتْ أَيْدِينَا. We have created cattle from the things that our hands have created. Now, over here, hands, أيدينا. This is not one hand, no. This is not two, no. This is plural, plural. Plural in Arabic is this, and now this could be 10 plus plural form or 3 to 10, because this could be either one. Because أيدي is أفعل on the wazn of أفعل. This is جمع الكثرة, not جمع القلة. But some people opine, some grammarians opine that originally it was أيدوي. أيدوي would be أفعل. That would جمع القلة. So if it's جمع it's أيدي as it is جمع الكسر. جمع الكسر 10 plus. So he has 10 plus hands. It could be 10, 12, 15, 20, 30. Who knows how many hands, right? Fitting his majesty. Or at minimum, even if we put this argument aside, that whether it's جمع القلة or جمع الكسرة, we push that aside. For sure, it's 3 plus. It's not two hands. It's a plural form, so it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 10. Not 2, for sure. So the first verse I showed you, it says one hand for the Lord does not negate that he might have a second or third hand. Second verse I showed you, he has 2 extended hands, but whether he has other hands that are not extended, that is not, the verse doesn't reject that idea. This verse shows that he has many, many hands. Many, many hands. Like he has many, many eyes, many, many hands, however, one leg. One leg. Right? And he's very fat. And he's extremely fat, overweight. But Allahu Akbar. He's bigger, right? He's bigger than anything. So obviously he has to be bigger in dimensions. And then in Surah Al-Dhariyat, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. When we say he's bigger, literally he's bigger. Allahu Akbar. He's literally bigger. You understand? Bigger than anything. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَا. Surah Al-Dhariyat, verse number 47. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ. The sky, the heavens. We created it, we made it with our hands. Now, Aiden here, Aiden. This is Jam'u al-Jam'. Now, Jam'u kasra or Jam'u al-Qilla. That's a matter of contention. But it proves that he has more than two hands. It could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we could say ID is Jam'u al-Kathra and it's 10 plus. All right. So he has several hands. So he has a throne. So it's basically like a chair, and he sits there. And he himself is bigger than the throne. You know that, right? So imagine a chair that's tight, too tight for a person. So imagine this just see this picture. So there's a gentleman, he's sitting on a chair and he's overweight. So he extends beyond the dimensions of the chair. This is Kitab al-Arsh by Wahabi, volume number 2, Adwa al-Salaf. And Wahabi is a very respected muhaddith. So if he says a hadith is sahih, then there's no question, there's no argument that hadith is sahih. Volume number 2, published in Saudi Arabia. At what year? Year 1999. So he narrates this hadith that a woman came to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and she said, "Ud'ullah," this page 116. "Pray to God that he may admit me into his paradise." Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam extolled the Lord and he praised him. And then he said, "Inna kursiyahu fawqa as-samawat." He said his chair is above the heavens. 7 heavens, above that is his chair. وَإِنَّهُ يَقْعُدُ عَلَيْهِ. And he goes and sits on it. He goes, he'll be always running. Because always somebody is going to the mosque. So when does he sit on it? So maybe at that time of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, at that time, there were not too many mosques. There was only one mosque, right? And not all the time people are going to the mosque. So he gets a lot of time to sit on a chair. But since Muslims' numbers has increased, and Muslims are every place on earth, 24/7, there are people, somebody going to the mosque, somebody going towards the Kaaba, somebody traveling to Medina. So he's always running into different directions. So right now, for many centuries, this Lord must be very tired. However, he doesn't get tired. He doesn't get tired by protection of the heavens and the earth. But running may tire him, right? Running may tire him because there's no hadith or verse that he doesn't get tired because of running. So regardless, so he has not sat for a long time. But if he sits, and he used to sit before, وَإِنَّهُ يَقْعُدُ عَلَيْهِ فَمَا يَفْضُلُ مِنْهُ إِلَّا أَرْبَعَةُ أَصَابِعٍ. So he sits, his size is beyond the size of the chair. He's bigger than the chair. It's 4 fingers on each side. So he overflows from the chair like a fat man sitting on a tight chair. He overflows 4 fingers. His flesh is hanging around, dangling around on the sides of the chair, 4 fingers on this side, 4 finger on that, 4 finger on each side. And this is the monster god, the obese devil Wahhabis believe in. And then he says, Zahabi narrates this hadith and says, هذا حديث محفوظ من حديث أبي إسحاق السبيعي إمام الكوفي. This hadith is an authentic hadith, a verified hadith from Abi Ishaq al-Subay'i, who was the leader of people of Kufa at his time in hadith. So he has learned hadith he has heard hadith from many Sahaba, and his hadith is present in Bukhari and Muslim. And this hadith, Abu Ishaq al-Subay'i narrated muqirran lahu, while he believed in it. He did not narrate it in order to mock it, in order to ridicule it. No, he narrated in order that he is faithful and believing in the content of this hadith, that indeed the Lord is oversized. The Lord is an obese Lord. He sits on the chair. He overflows the chair on each side by 4 fingers. كغيره من أحاديث الصفات, like others ahadith of sifat. Of course, we believe in all of them. Likewise, حدث به سفيان الثوري. Sufyan al-Thawri, who is their Amir al-Fasiqeen fil Hadith, king of Wahabis in Hadith, he has also narrated this Hadith. And other, Abu Ahmad al-Zubayri, Yahya ibn Abi Bukair, Waqi', on the authority of Israel, all of them, they have narrated this Hadith. And then he sits on the chair, right? And Omar. Next hadith is from Omar, hadith number 99. Omar narrated, إذا جلس الرب على الكرسي سمع له أطيط كأطيط الرحل الجديد. هذا حديث صحيح. This hadith is sahih. Okay. He says, when the law, Omar says, and he doesn't even attribute to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, does he? And Omar, oh yeah, Omar does not attribute it to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Omar decides that he's going to teach Tawheed to the Omaris. Very good. Awesome. Awesome. That's very interesting. Omar is going to talk about God today. Not mashallah. Omar is going there on the member and he's going to teach Tawheed to the Omaris. Okay. How is the God of Omar ibn Khattab? He says, إِذَا جَلَسَ الرَّبُّ عَلَى الْكُرْسِي. When this fat monster, he goes and decides to sit on the chair, on the throne, right? سُمِعَ لَهُ أَطِيتٌ. A sound of squeaking. A sound of squeaking. A noise of squeak is heard from the chair, from the throne. كَعَطِيتِ الرَّحْلِ الْجَدِيدِ. Like a saddle, which is new. A new saddle, if you have a new saddle, if you buy a new saddle and mount it on your horse, and saddle is made of what? Made of leather. Saddles are made out of leather, right? If you put it there and if it's new, you sit on it, or even a chair, if you have a leather chair. If it's new, you sit on it, it squeaks. So obviously it should squeak. It should squeak if this person sitting on it, the monster sitting on it, is so heavy. Obvious, that heavier than anything, right? Why? How could you blame the chair for squeaking? So the chair squeaks. And then the Zahabi says, okay, our teacher said, Omar always used to narrate this hadith. One person heard this hadith from Waqi'. Waqi' is one of the narrators in Muslim. So Waqi', a bigger scholar at his own time, he was narrating this hadith from Umar ibn al-Khattab. And then Omar, this person just a little got shocked. What are you talking about? He was pushed back. He was startled by this hadith. Iqsha'arra. So he was startled when he heard this hadith from Waqi'. Waqi' became angry at him. He said, I heard this from A'mash and Sufyan al-Thawri. A'mash and Sufyan al-Thawri, Sulaiman ibn Mahran al-A'mash and Sufyan al-Thawri, these are grand masters of hadith and Bukhari and Muslim. They used to narrate this hadith, these ahadith, they used to narrate these narrations from Umar, وَلَا يُنْكِرُونَهَا, and they would never reject these ahadith, and they would never denounce or renounce these ahadith. They would always consider them credible. And then the Dhahabi says, هذا الحديث صحيح, this hadith is sahih. In the jama'at من المحدثين, a number of muhaddithin have asserted this hadith is sahih. Then again he says, هذا إسناد صحيح, this isnad is sahih. And then he mentions a number of ahadith muhaddithin, Abu Ishaq al-Thubay'i, Thawri, A'mash, Israel, Abdul Rahman ibn Mahdi, Abu Hamad al-Zubayri, Wakil, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, وغيرهم ممن يطول ذكرهم, and people other than them. Many, many grand, respected muhaddithin who used to narrate these ahadith from Omar and say, Omar narrated, and these ahadith are sahih, and Omar have asserted these matters to us. All right. So all these respected scholars of hadith, such as Ahmad ibn Hanbal and Israel and Abdul Rahman ibn Mahdi and Sufyan al-Thawri and Waki, Abu Ishaq al-Subay'i, they declared that this hadith is true. Umar indeed spoke these words, and Umar is our Imam. We have to learn Tawheed from Umar. فَمَنْ نَحْنُ حَتَّى نُنْكِرُهُ وَنَتَحَلْذِقُ عَلَيْهِمْ. So who are we to renounce these ahadith and to reject these narrators? بَلْ نُؤْمِنُ بِهِ. Rather, we believe in these hadith. وَنَكِلُ عِلْمَهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. And we say, Lord, you know the best the meaning of these hadith. Well, you know best, it doesn't mean they do not know the meaning of these hadith, that they are going to ascribe to tafweed. They say it doesn't mean literally. They do not never say it doesn't mean literally. They do not. If you say it doesn't mean literally what it means, they will reject you. They will consider you kafir. So it literally means it is. If there's any other beyond this, more description, which is not mentioned in the hadith, then that Allah knows. Okay? Other than that, it is what it is. He sits there on his arsh. This is okay, and there are other also narrations. I'm not going to take your time. Other narrations also that the chair, the throne squeaks. Now, the chair squeaks because he's bigger, he's fat, he's big, and he sits on the chair, and he is extending over the chair. He's all that. So, but very strange thing is, so there's no space in on the chair for anybody else, right? On the arsh, there's no other room. There's no room for more people to sit there. However, on the day of judgment, he is going to sit there on the chair, and then he's going to sit Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam with him. So obviously, I think common sense would indicate, but since there's no room, he's going to put Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his lap, right? What do you think? How is he going to stand? Okay, let's read that hadith, and you tell me, you answer me. The monster, God, he is going to have the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam sit with him on the chair on the day of judgment. So sit with him on the chair while he's bigger than the chair and he's overflowing. So the only meaning I could understand is he's sitting the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his lap. This is Majmu'atul Fatawa Ibn Taymiyyah al-Harrani. Majmu'atul Fatawa Ibn Taymiyyah, volume number 4, published in 2005 in Darul Wafa. So at page 229, he says, فَقَدْ حَدَّثَ الْعُلَمَاءُ الْمَرْضِيُّونَ وَأَوْلِيَاؤُهُ الْمَقْبُولُونَ. credible and popular scholars, وَأَوْلِيَاؤُهُ الْمَقْبُولُونَ, and credible and beloved saints, they have narrated, أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يجلسه ربه على العرش معه. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah has him sit with him on the arsh with him on the day of judgment. This is the book of Arsh by Zahabi, volume number 2, published by Adwa al-Salaf in 1999 in Riyadh. Page number 265. So he says that Abu Abdurrahman Abdullah ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal's son, Abu Abdurrahman Abdullah ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal's son, the person who compiled Musnad Ahmad for his father. He narrates the hadith of Mujahid, and Mujahid says, إن الله يقعد محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله معه على العرش. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sit with him on the throne on the day of judgment. Okay. And then Ahmad ibn Hanbal's son says, أنا منكر على من رد هذا الحديث. I disown and I renounce any person who rejects this hadith. وما رأيت أحدا من المحدثين ينكره. And I've never seen any narrator of hadith, such as my father or other people, who has rejected this hadith. وكان عندنا وقت ما سمعناه من المشايخ أنه إنما ينكره الجهمية. And there was a time you would hear from sheikhs of hadith, from teachers of hadith, from masters of hadith, scholars of hadith, that a person who rejects this hadith is Jahmi, he is Ash'ari, he is kafir, he's a rejecter of Asma and Sifat. And then the Dhahabi narrates from Abu Dawud al-Sajistani, the writer of Sunan Abi Dawud. His student Al-Marwazi asked him about this hadith. فَأَفْتَاهُ أَنَّ الْخَبَرَ يُسَلَّمُ كَمَا جَاءَ وَلَا يُعَارَض. He said that this hadith must be submitted to, must be acknowledged as it has been narrated, and it cannot be rejected or denounced or countered. And then he mentions so many ahadith. Abbas al-Duri and Ibrahim al-Harbi and Muhammad ibn Ismail, many scholars, a scholar after scholar after scholar, that they all accepted this hadith, that Allah puts the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with him on the chair on the day of judgment. This is the book of Al-Jami' li-Ulum Ahmad. Here at page number 116, he narrates from Ahmad ibn Hanbal that he said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with him on the chair, on the throne, on the day of judgment. And he said, whoever rejects this hadith, he is a kafir. He's Jahmi, he's a kafir. This is the book Tabaqat al-Hanabilah للقاضي أبي الحسين محمد ibn Abi Ya'la, volume number 2, page number 10. عسى أن يبعثك مقاما محمودا. What's the maqam of Mahmud? The position that's praiseworthy. هو قعوده صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم مع ربه على العرش. Maqam al-Mahmud is not shafa'a, intercession on the day of judgment. No. Maqam al-Mahmud is what? He sits on the chair. But there's no room on the chair. So he must sit in his lap, I guess. Or maybe on one of his hands. So he sits on the chair, somewhere on the chair. And whoever rejects this, he is kafir. He's Jahmi, he's kafir. Okay. So that's about his sitting on the chair. And now this chair, he sits on this chair and he's overflowing. Now this chair is carried. This chair is not stationary. But that's very strange because this chair is, where does it go? It's carried. So the throne, arsh, they carry it. And God is bigger than the arsh. And arsh is bigger than the seventh heaven. It's bigger. It envelops the seventh heaven. It's so big. Seventh heaven envelops the sixth heaven. Sixth heaven envelops the fifth heaven. It's so bigger. These heavens, one compared to other, that a coin compared to a vast desert. So the first heaven, the first sky compared to the second sky is like a coin and a desert. So that's how bigger it is. The second sky second heaven compared to the first heaven. Third compared to the second, the same. Fourth compared to the third, the same. Fourth compared to the fifth, the same. Sixth compared to the fifth, the same. Seventh compared to the sixth, the same. And the chair, the throne, is above all of these and bigger than all of them. So there's no room left. So the chair is bigger. But of course, there's no room. That's not a problem for Wahabis because they say aql. This only Shias use aql. If you use aql, you become kafir. So this chair is carried around. Who is it being carried around by? There are, in the Quran, there's a verse, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, in Surah Al-Ghafir. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الذين يحملون العرش ومن حوله يسبحون بحمد ربهم. Those who carry the throne and those who are around them. يسبحون بحمد ربهم. They say the words of dignity of the Lord and the words of laudation of the Lord. ويؤمنون به ويستغفرون للذين آمنوا. And they have faith in the Lord and they seek forgiveness for the people, for the believers. So this is the verse. So the throne is carried. Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam have asserted that this throne that's carried, this throne is not like a place, a physical thing. This is knowledge. This is knowledge. This throne is knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has imparted His knowledge. And the verse is talking about those people who are carrying, who Allah has invested His knowledge in them. They are treasures of Allah's knowledge. And they are Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. الَّذِينَ يَحْمِلُونَ الْحَرْشِ. These are Ahl, وَمَنْ حَوْلَهُ. They are Shias, their followers. This is the book Tafsir al-Burhan by Shaykh Hashim al-Bahrani rahimahullah. Now, Arsh has many meanings. Arsh also means there is a place that's called Arsh. But it's not a chair that God sits on it, okay? Ar-Rahmanu ala al-Arsh istawa, that's another meaning for Arsh. That Arsh means kingdom. Throne means kingdom, his might, his power over all aspects of being everywhere. Ar-Rahmanu ala al-Arsh istawa, Allah is the king. Allah is controlling His kingdom. That is what it means. It doesn't mean He sits on a chair. So there's a place, the Arsh, that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went to, and he saw in its columns that there were names of 12 Imams alayhim salam written there. That's a place. So Arsh has many meanings in Quran and Sunnah. And all these meanings have been described by Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam to us. But there's no chair. There is no throne that where God sits. That doesn't happen. And Tafsir al-Burhan, and Arsh also means knowledge. The knowledge that Allah has given to His Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. This knowledge is so dear, so exalted, so majestic, so valuable that He's called it the throne. Al-Burhan fi Tafsir al-Quran, Sayyid Hashim al-Bahrani, volume number 7. In A'lami Beirut, Lebanon, here. فالذين يحملون العرش هم العلماء الذين حملهم علمه حملهم الله علمه. Muhammad ibn Yaqub al-Kulaini narrates in his Al-Kafi. This is Surah Al-Ghafir. Surah Al-Ghafir, verse number 7. الذين يحملون العرش ومن حوله. So, who are the people? Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salam says, people who are carrying arsh. This is not some chair that they're carrying around. This is هم العلماء الذين حملهم الله علمه. These are the knowledgeable people. Allah has invested in them. Allah has granted them His knowledge. And who are they? They are أهل البيت عليهم السلام. وهي محمد آل محمد عليهم السلام. وكيف يحمل حملة العرش Allah. How people can carry Allah. That Allah is sitting on the chair and this chair is being carried away. That's preposterous. That's not what the verse says. How can anyone carry God? وَبِحَيَاتِي حَيَّتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them life, has given them power, has given them life. How could they carry Allah? وَبِنُورِهِ اهْتَدَوْا إِلَى مَعْرِفَتِهِ. And with the light of Allah, people are... So any person who gives you life, anyone who creates you, he is not physical, so he could be carried away. You understand? That's impossible. That's preposterous. Something that creates you, something that gives you life, he cannot be. He's not a physical object to be carried away. That's not going to happen. That's in the school of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. Tafsir Ali ibn Ibrahim al-Qummi, Kulaini's teacher, volume number 2, page number 255. This hadith is from our master, الإمام محمد الباقر عليه السلام. الذين يحملون العرش يعني رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله والأوصياء من بعده. This is Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم and the 12 Imams عليهم السلام after him. يحملون علم الله. العرش يعني علم الله. They carry Allah's arsh, Allah's ilm, Islam, the information, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the sharia, the knowledge that Allah has sent to the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the throne in this verse. وَمَنْ حَوْلَهُ يَعْنِي الْمَلَائِكَةِ. حَوْلَهُ, those angels that are always accompanying the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the holy Imams alayhim as-salam. يُسَبِّحُونَ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِمْ. They always say the glory of the Lord with His laudation. Okay. All right. Now you heard this. Now let's go in the Umari. So this, and the Umari, Ahmad ibn Hanbal's view, Umar ibn al-Khattab has taught them a different Tawheed. So there's this fat Godzilla, many hands, many eyes, one leg, maybe a tail, sexual organs, no beard, hair. There's gold around him, you're right. So, and there's golden rugs on the floor, and there's a throne, he's sitting on it, and then at the same time the throne is bigger than anything. So none of it makes sense, right? So if his throne is bigger than the heavens and the earth and everything, so where is he going to be carried away? And how is he going to come down to the first heaven if he's bigger than the throne, and throne is bigger than the seventh heaven, and seventh heaven is so big that compared to the sixth heaven, like a coin compared to a desert. So how he's going to fit in the first heaven, and where is he going to run all the time? But obviously that's common sense questions, and asking questions is a Shia bid'ah. Thinking is a Shia bid'ah. You're not allowed to think. Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal بتحقيق الشيخ أحمد محمد شاكر, volume number 3, published in Darul Hadith al-Qahira, published in year 1995. Page 58, hadith number 2314. Ibn Abbas said, and this hadith is sahih after narrating that. I show you, right? 2314. Here. Sahih. Let's go to the next page. Ibn Abbas narrates, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said that Umayyah ibn Khalf has told the truth in this stanza of his, in this poem of his. What's his poem? رَجُلٌ وَثَوْرٌ تَحْتَ رِجْلِ يَمِينِهِ. So he has one leg, one right leg. He doesn't have a left leg or anything, right? He has one leg. So these things are hamalatul arsh. So his leg is, he's sitting on the chair is on top of these things who are carrying the chair. Who are carrying the chair? Rajulun. One of the carriers is a man. A man. Wathawrun, and there is a buffalo. And these two are under his right leg. وَالنَّصْرُ لِلْأُخْرَى وَلَيْثٌ مُرْصَدُ. And there's a falcon and there's a lion. They're on the other side of the chair. The other side of the chair. So he's sitting on the chair and he's being carried around. Like the chair is squeaking, and these poor things are there lifting the chair, the heaviest thing in the world. A man and a cow or a buffalo. And then there's a falcon. A falcon is also carrying the chair and the lion. Okay? So when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that he has told the truth, that is the case. That is the case. That's Hamalat al-Arsh. This is the book of As-Sunnah لإمامهم أبي بكر أحمد ibn Amr ibn Abi Asim. Abu Bakr ibn Abi Asim's book, As-Sunnah, he passed away at year 287. This book has been researched and authenticated by Professor Basim ibn Faisal al-Jawabira, who is the professor of Hadith in Muhammad ibn Saud University in Riyadh. Published by Dar al-Sumayyi at year 1998. Said this hadith is sahih. Ibn Abbas said, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Umayyah ibn Abi Salt has told the truth in this verse. رجل وثور تحت رجل يمينه والنصر للأخرى وليث مرصد. That there's a man, there's a buffalo, there's an eagle, and there's a lion, right? And they're carrying the chair. So this is the Kitab al-Tawheed by Ibn Abi Khuzaymah. And what Tawheed? What Tawheed? What a Tawheed, right? Learn Tawheed. Tawheed. This denomination has been doing takfir of everyone in Islam. Everyone. Shia, Maturidi, Ahnaf, Ash'aris, Malikis, Mu'tazilis, Zaydis, and Asha'ira, Maturidiya, Deobandiya, and Barelviya. Every Sufiya, every sect is mushrik except them. And look at their Tawheed. So what is their Tawheed? This is Kitab al-Tawheed. But Abu Bakr ibn Khuzaymah. Published by Dar al-Rishd al-Riyadh. This person died, the author Ibn Khuzaymah died at year 311 Hijri. Here is the same hadith, page number 202, hadith number 111. Same hadith, that there are four things that carry the arsh. Right? Then hadith, second hadith, same thing. Third hadith, same thing. Fourth hadith, same thing. Fifth hadith, same thing. That Hisham ibn Urwa said, حملة العرش أحدهم على صورة الإنسان. Those people who carry the throne, the chair here and there, they run with it here and there. There are four. أحدهم على صورة الإنسان. One of them is in the shape and the figure of a human being, a man. والثاني على صورة الثور. The second one has the figure of a cow, of a buffalo. والثالث على صورة نسر. And the third one is a falcon, in the shape of a falcon. And the fourth one, حملة العرش, is what? Is the figure of a lion. Right? I think Vishnu in the Hindu religion, that makes more sense, right? Look, this makes more sense. At least there's one carrying a chair. Put a chair on top of a man and a lion and a falcon and a cow. And tell him to move, right? To go around. What's going to happen? It's a drama. Drama is going to happen. I think here the Hindus win. The Hindus win. Hindus win, really. Okay. Their God is, there's no chair. He just sits on the damn falcon and he flies around. That's easier. I think that makes more sense. Okay. Let's take your calls, brothers and sisters. May Allah bless you. Wahabis are never going to debate Shia on Tawheed from now on. Never, ever. Yeah. They will only make like small retorts on the question of istighatha here and there, but on Tawheed, they're not going to debate. They're finished. The chapter is closed. Or learn what I've taught you today in my other lectures. Wahabis are done for. They will never debate Shia on this topic. All right, I'll go to TikTok first. Okay. Who do we have there on TikTok, brother? And then I'll come to Zoom in a moment.
Mukhbara, salam alaikum, Allah.
Alaikum assalam, brother. Thank you.
Open your mic, please. MK Bora, open your mic. Speak.
Okay, Ahmad. I'll take Ahmad Ali from Zoom until you guys get ready. Ahmad Ali, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. So
How are you doing?
Like, I'm fine.
Why are you changing? You're distorting your audio, and you put a mask. So let me give you privacy, okay? So now talk. Go. This is better.
Okay, sir, I have 4 questions, but they are like off topic.
You're off topic. Okay, let's see what you got.
So my first question is, I am a revert. So I know only Sunni namaz.
Yeah. So you learn Shia namaz, inshallah. Okay, learn Shia namaz.
Yeah, I'm learning it. But right now I'm praying Sunni. So is my prayer accepted?
No. So don't fold your hands, okay? And use turba or paper to do sajda on, okay? Yeah. And then learn. You can learn it in half a day. You can learn Shia namaz in 2 hours. In 2 hours, 1 hour, you can learn. It's very easy.
Okay. And can you recommend me someone who could teach me?
My operator, talk to my operator. Maybe he'll teach you. Okay.
You can YouTube it. You can YouTube it.
Yeah, you can look at YouTube. There are many things. And operator, ask him. He might recommend someone to you. He's in contact with people. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I have 2 more questions.
Yeah, sure.
So I do not have a Shia mosque near my house.
Yeah.
And like I have a Sunni mosque
So
right
you have a
next
Shia
to my
mosque
house.
in your house because my channel is a Shia mosque. When you open my channel, it's like a Shia member all the time, 24/7. Okay? You have a Shia member in your house. You have a Shia mosque in your bedroom, in your house, wherever you go. That's Hassan Allahyari's channel. Don't worry.
Yes, I do watch you, but I was asking regarding my prayer. Can I?
Yeah, you can pray at home. Pray at home. Yeah, you can pray at home. You can pray anywhere you want. Inna Allah ja'ali al-arda masjidan wa tahura. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the entire earth is my masjid. You can pray anywhere. You can pray in a park.
Okay.
You can pray in a parking lot. You can pray in a church. You can pray anywhere you want. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
No.
May God bless you. Okay. Let's go back to TikTok. Afaq, go ahead, please. Afaq wants to talk. Afaq, you want to talk? Alaykum salam. Where are you calling from? San Diego.
San Diego. Yes.
How are you?
How are you?
Alaykum salam.
Good, thank you. Just Ramadan, really, I just asked you about the location of God speak to Moses, and you asked me to find out and tell you. I just found out that the place is in Karbala. So
let me look this up. Okay, let me look this up. Okay.
Yeah. I will tell you earlier to the Bahar al-Anwar, the chapter Bahar al-Anwar chapter, the chapter 53 and the page 13. Juz' 53 and page 12. Page 12.
Okay. I'll look it up and I'll give you an answer, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. May Allah bless you.
Thank you.
May Allah keep you up. Okay, who is next?
Sister, open your mic, please.
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alayka salam.
Mr. Allahyari, how are you doing? I hope you're
Not
doing
bad.
well. And
Thank you. Where are you calling from?
From Paris, as always, your follower.
Okay. What's happening?
Brother, I just wanted to ask you regarding Khalid ibn Walid, Lanatullah alayh. Can you please let me know? I have heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I have heard that he was one of the commanders who came and burned the house of the Fatima to Zahra sallallahu alayhi in the day. He was not?
No, he was not one of the commanders in that occasion.
Okay. The second question is why the Khulafa gave him the nickname of Ali ibn Abi Talib, which is Saifullah.
Because, well, I don't. Abu Bakr was in good terms with him, but Omar was not. So Omar was opposed him. Omar fired him. Omar didn't give him any post. Omar really disliked him. But Abu Bakr liked him, okay? Because he went on a campaign to massacre all the tribes who opposed Abu Bakr.
All right, but why he has the Saifullah nickname?
What I'm telling you, because he did a good service for Abu Bakr. So there were a lot of tribes in Arabia who opposed Abu Bakr's rule, and they would not pledge allegiance to them. So Khalid ibn al-Walid would go at night times and raid those tribes. People are sleeping in their tents or in their homes. They would attack them at night, in the middle of the night. They will bring men and saw off their head, chop off their head, rape the woman, and take them, the women and children, into Medina, and distribute them amongst the Sahaba as slaves. So that's what he did. So for Abu Bakr, he was Saifullah.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. May Allah
bless you. Allah keep you up.
Assalamu alaikum. Allora, ma mettono forse
No,
it's an English show. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum,
Can I ask
Hadi.
my question?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from North America.
Okay, North America. What's happening?
Okay, so how would you defend the Shia kind of Tawheed? We believe in the absolute divine simplicity, right?
Yeah, yes.
So how would you defend it from other people, from the mukhalifin, like the opponents?
So that can be the only way that he could be creator in his eternal, is that he is not made of parts. Anything that is made of parts, he's not one. It's many. So you and me, we are not one. You and me, we are so many things. So all the atoms, all the molecules, all the subatomic particles, and what is the voice coming from? TikTok, keep it quiet. So all these, let me mute TikTok. So all these things that is happening, all these things, all our particles, they're not millions, they're not billions, they're trillions of parts in us that we are made up of. So we need all of these. If all of these parts are, then we can exist. So you cannot have the whole without the parts. You cannot have you without your head, without your hands, without your legs, without your torso, without your digestive system, your nervous system, your circulatory system. All these things have to exist for you to exist. And somebody has to bring them together. Somebody has to bring these parts together. So that thing has to be the cause of this whole. Therefore, something that's made of parts, it's itself the created being. It needs a creator, somebody who brought these parts together and put them together. So God, Allah, can never be made up of parts. And everything that's made up of parts, it is a timeline. It's within the realm of time and space. And as such, it has a beginning. Anything that is time, it has beginning. So it cannot be forever. So it was not, and then it started to be. So it means something that was not, did not exist, and then now it started to be. It did not create itself. Because something that did not exist, it cannot do anything, right? Mahdi's gone. So something that does not exist, it cannot it cannot do anything. A phone that does not exist, can it ring? A phone that doesn't exist cannot ring. A YouTube channel that doesn't exist, how many hours of video does it have? No videos, because it doesn't exist. It can't do anything. So if it didn't exist and then it started to be, it couldn't have created itself because it didn't exist. Something that doesn't exist cannot do anything, let alone creating itself. So somebody created it. Therefore, anything that's made up of parts, what happens? It is. You want to talk, Maddie? You keep getting disconnected. North America is bad internet or what?
Hey, the internet is really bad. Yeah, the internet is really bad.
No problem.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Just a follow-up question. To the people that say kalam is like haram or bid'ah because you can't explain about Allah which you don't know, what's your response to that?
What do you mean by kalam?
Like explaining like Allah or something. Like I hear some people like the Wahabis, they say like kalam, like
so kalam is an intellectual discipline, intellectual branch of knowledge that discusses about God, about the hereafter, and Islamic beliefs, that is going to justify Islamic beliefs on the merit of aql and common sense, and then on the merits of hadith and the Quran. Wahabis do not like this because it involves aql. The moment common sense comes into play, they say it's bid'ah. So, and indeed, for them, they're entitled to say that because they do not have any intellectual hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They do not have any rational reasoning for the existence of God or Allah's sifat from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everything they have is irrational, insane, ludicrous. So for them, it's obvious. They don't have a single hadith that commends and that lauds and praises aql. So for them to be enemies of aql, enemies of reason, enemies of rationality, and denounce anything that involves common sense and reason and rationality and intelligence, to denounce it as bid'ah, that makes sense. That's they have to do that. But us Shia, we have tremendous treasure troves of intellectual, of rational proofs and discourses from Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. So our intellectuality, our rational reasoning is never detached and divorced from our sunnah, from our hadith. So from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasallam, Ahlul Bayt alayhi wasallam, we have such deep, profound intellectual discourses about the existence of God, proofs of God, and His attributes, and His eternity, and that He is sheer and simple, and He doesn't have parts, and He is beyond time and space. That's no matter how much you think and ponder, you still found more profundity, more depth in their discourses, and that's just miracles of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam. So for us, and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam, hadith praising aql, praising reason, are tremendous in our books of hadith. Ya Mahdi.
Thank you so much. I'll see you around.
Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Okay, who is there in TikTok?
Please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh Hassan Allahyari.
Alaikum assalam, brother.
Can I proceed with asking a question?
Please.
Yeah. So you see, there are like many rituals which are associated with the mourning of Imam Hussain. So there are like many different around the globe, but particularly in Pakistan, they say they include a chain linking in which like a blade is inserted into the body and blood comes out, and they're like have like very
so anything you do in grief of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, if your intention is to be restless and to show your sorrow, because sorrow is not just crying, sorrow is not shown as just in wailing and weeping and being tearful. Also, sorrow, if it becomes very deep, sorrow if it hits your heart and your soul, it also takes away your rest. It makes you anxious. And restlessness and sorrow means that you will hit your face, slap your chest, slap your head, or grab something and hit your head. That is very, very natural reaction to great amount of tragedy and great amount of sorrow. Just look, go on YouTube and go to those, just look at women who have lost their sons, their beloved ones, or a woman who has lost her husband and she loved her husband. She's not just going to cry, especially in, for instance, when the suicide bombings used to happen in Iraq during the US occupation, 2004, 2005, 2006, and Al-Qaeda and Bashar Assad used to send all of these and their this Alawi intelligence service of Syria, they used to send suicide bombers with the help of Qasim Soleimani into Iraq, and they had flooded Iraq with suicide bombing as the Shia areas. So you would see a lot of women. At that time, I remember I used to watch these YouTube videos. So a woman who has her husband or her son has been killed, how they weep, how they show their sorrow. It's just not by being tearful. So they would hit their face, they would hit their head, they would grab dirt and pour over their head. Therefore, doing any act, if your intention is that you are being restless and the sorrow of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, in the agony of the tragedy of Karbala, and by itself it's not haram. By virtue of itself, that action is not haram. For instance, doing this is not haram. There's no hadith.
Yeah, but see, Aga, there like
allow me.
Some of the
so drinking wine is haram. Drinking wine is haram. Doing this is not haram. Getting a chain and putting on my back is not haram. Bleeding, if I hit myself so hard that I bleed, it's not haram. There are none of these things. Yes, if I commit suicide, it is haram. Yes, what are you going to say?
Yeah, so there's another, because many of the religion members, they say like this way of these rituals.
So they
like
don't know better.
Many...
The Maraja, such as Ali Khamenei, who says it's haram, is because he doesn't know better. Okay, so there's no hadith that prohibits it.
It is like it resembles with the Christian way. So if a Christian,
it resembles
like,
what?
They beat their back to these rituals like very much resemble to the Christian way. So a Christian, they beat their back to take off their sins.
Your woman's hijab resemble the hijab of nuns. So are you going to abandon hijab? So that's a ludicrous argument. And Khamenei has not said that you should not use azadari zanjir zani or latm or tatbir because it resembles Christians. He has not said that. That's something you are making up. Okay?
Thank you so much, Sheikh. May Allah bless you.
May Allah bless you.
Life.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take one more TikTok caller and then I go to Brother Hussein.
Dr. Zahra, open your mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Can you hear me?
Alaykum salam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm calling from England. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Not bad, thank you.
First of all, I would like to say thanks to you for guiding us in so many aspects. I really like you. And my question is, like, in my family, they say that non-Sayyid girl cannot marry a Sayyid boy. Is that true?
Non-Sayyid girl cannot marry a Sayyid boy.
Yeah.
No, our Imams alayhim salam, they were Sayyids and they often got married with non-Sayyid women.
They say that there is a hadith, I don't know if it's right or not, that's why I'm asking you, that Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that our girls are for our boys and our boys are for our girls.
Yeah. So he was talking about the specific individuals. So he was looking at the children of Ja'far ibn Abi Talib and Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. He was talking about them, that they should intermarry. So those children that were present there, these are our daughters
so
and our boys. They should, they should marry. He was not talking about the eternity, because our holy Imams alayhim salam, they married their daughters to non-Sayyids, and they also got married with non-Sayyid women.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
May Allah bless you. Allah keep you well. Thank you. Okay, Brother Hussein. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hussein from Chicago.
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you for coming. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Allah bless you. How is your daughter?
May Allah bless you as well. My daughter is very good.
I pray for her.
Thank you. I know you did, and it's definitely showing. So thank you so much, my brother.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Not much. I just wanted to ask on Eid is coming up. So, there's those of us that still remember, 7 days ago, the tragedy of losing our master, Mawla Ali alayhi salam. And the issue is there's a lot of us that don't celebrate Eid to the extent. So my question was really regarding what is the appropriate level of celebration for Eid? And of course, we do the Amal of Eid, but is it a time where we're supposed to be very extremely joyous and happy? Or, we want to celebrate happiness when our Aima al-Islam are happy and sadness when they were sad and tragedies befall them. So my only thought is, how it was their family celebrating Eid 7 days after the tragedy had struck.
So, one moment, let me look up something.
Thank you, brother.
Sure.
Shaykh Hassan.
And with respect to the day of Eid, there's no instruction from Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam that you should be mournful for the martyrdom of Imam Ali alayhi salam. There is a tradition that it says that Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam would have a sense of grief. A sense of grief would overtake them because they would see that all their rights have been violated and all their positions are in the hands of their enemies. That's the only hadith that talks about grief on the day of Eid. So a sense of grief from that aspect, one should feel that the day of Eid celebration has come, but still the position of imama, the right of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam to be followed and to be obeyed, that is denied by the ummah and by the world, and people do not recognize their excellent and lofty positions. So that's allowed, that's recommended. Other than that, with regard to the day of Eid, and the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam is a day of reward. Because you have worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 30 days. This is a day of reward. And this is a day of dignity, a day of happiness. And so it could happen, a day of celebration could, from another sense, could be also a day of, you could feel a sense of grief in it from another sense, from some aspect. The day, there's no contradiction between the two. What's important on the day of Eid, I'll show you. This hadith, excuse me.
Eid is for children and new clothes.
Sure.
Wearing new clothes, Eid for children. Yeah.
This is Wasa'il al-Shia, volume number 7. I'll take you there at page number 480. We take you page 480. So what's recommended to do on the day of Eid? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, when the first day of Shawwal comes, nada munadin, a herald makes this call on behalf of Allah. Ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, ughdu ila jawaizikum. Rise up, wake up, or hurry to your rewards. ثم قال يا جابر, then he said, O Jabir, جوائز الله ليست بجوائز هؤلاء الملوك. He said that the rewards of the Lord on the day of Eid is not like the reward of the kings, to give you coins or give you money. هو يوم الجوائز. Imam Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this is the day of reward. And Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam also said that on the day of Eid, a herald calls out this call that ughdu ila jawaizikum, wake up and get your rewards. Okay, let me read the third hadith. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, on the day of Eid, he saw people who were laughing and who were playing and laughing. He said to his followers, and turned to his followers and said, إن الله عز وجل جعل شهر رمضان مذمارا للخلقه يستبقون فيه بطاعته إلى رضوانه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the month of Ramadan a month of racing, a month of competition, in which people will compete against each other to haste and to rush towards his pleasure, towards his Jannah. فَسَبَقَ فِيهِ قَوْمٌ فَفَازُوا. One group of people in this month of Ramadan, they have indeed hastened towards Allah's paradise and Allah's pleasure, and they have been successful. They have won. وَتَخَلَّفَ آخَرُونَ فَخَابُوا. In another nation, they have stayed behind and they have failed. فَالْعَجَبُ كُلُّ الْعَجَبِ مِنَ الضَّاحِكِ اللَّاعِبِ فِي الْيَوْمِ الَّذِي يُثَابُ فِيهِ الْمُحْسِنُونَ وَيَخُوِّبُ فِيهِ الْمُقَصِّرُونَ. So it's a matter of astonishment. One moment, please. It's a matter of astonishment. A person who laughs and plays, and a day as such in which some people have been rewarded, muhsinun, people of good character and good deeds, they have been rewarded. And in this day, the others who have faltered and have failed, they're in loss. وَإِمُ اللَّهِ لَوْ كُشِفَ الْغُطَاء لَشَغِلَ مُحْسِنٌ بِإِحْسَانِهِ وَمُسِيءٌ بِإِسَاءَتِهِ. And I take an oath by Allah, if the curtain was removed, the person who has been rewarded, he would be busy. He would with his rewards, and he wouldn't have time to play and joke and laugh. And the person who has lost, he would be absorbed and busy with his loss, and he wouldn't have time for playing. So these are the recommendations of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam for the day of Eid, and there are also, I think, recommendations for wearing new clothes and clean clothes and using perfume. Let me find those also.
Thank you.
If I could find
yes,
it, yeah.
Please do. I saw the debate. There was some ignorant guy. You know what I liked? It was a guy from Egypt. He was an atheist. He called you towards the end, yesterday or the night before.
Night before.
And he asked you the question, but it's astonishing that you weren't ready to. You weren't ready for what his question was going to be, but you already knew what Ayman's al-Islam's answer to that question would be. And when you gave him that answer, he was so astonished that he kept trying to go back and save himself and re-ask the question over and over again. But that was good. Very good. Alhamdulillah.
May Allah bless you. Allah keep you well, brother.
Allah has blessed you, yes, of course.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. May Allah, thank you. You have any other thing to contribute?
No.
Okay.
No, just that we just questioned, because we do matam on Eid. We remember and we do matam on Eid. So I was just wondering, it's not extreme sadness, but we do remember the tragedies. So.
Sure.
Okay.
May Allah bless you, brother. Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad. May Allah keep you well. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to share this hadith. Babu istihbab al-ghusl laylat al-fitr wa yawm al-Eidain. So it's recommended that the night before the Eid, you take a bath, take a ghusl, and the day of Eid also to take a ghusl. Wa tatayyib, and to wear and to use perfume. Wa tazayyun, and to adorn yourself, good clothes. On the day of Eid, فَلْيَغْتَسِلْ وَلْيَتَطَيَّبْ بِمَا وَجَدْ. On the day of Eid, you should perform a ghusl and whatever. Excuse me. TikTok is really annoying. Okay. On the day of Eid, you should do what? You should do ghusl and you should do tatib, use perfume. And you can pray by yourself the Eid Salat on your own without other people. بل خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد, that you should adorn yourself with good clothes, with whatever is going to look good on you. This is about the day of Eid and the day of Jum'ah. Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, in relation to this verse, خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ masjid, take your adornment, take your zina before every place of sujood. He says, أي خُذُوا ثِيَابَكُمُ الَّذِي تَتَزَيَّنُونَ بِهَا, put on your best clothes that look best on you for the Salat of Eid. Okay? So that is about the Eid. Okay. Let me go to TikTok. Come on, TikTok. Who's there?
Allama, we have Amir, he claims he's an ex-Shia. Amir, open your mic.
Amir, come on. How you doing, Amir?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Hello? Amir, you want to talk?
Yes. Am I coming in?
Where are you from?
Me, England, UK.
Okay, England, UK. So you were Shia and you left Shiism, you're saying?
Yes, yes.
And what was the reason? What caused you? What prompted you to leave Shiism?
I just, with the issue of the imamate and stuff, I really cannot.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And Abu Bakr's imamate makes sense. Abu Bakr's imamate makes sense.
I cannot find imamate in the Quran. And,
if you're genuinely honest and you have really put thought into it, tell me. Abu Bakr's imamate makes sense.
And everything just seems to be revered around the imams. It's like, but where's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all of this? You know,
Allah is the creator. Allah is the ma'bud. Allah is the creator. Like, Allah, actually, where's your Allah? You're Wahabi now?
No,
You're Salafi?
Can I speak then? No, I'm not Salafi, no.
What are you?
Just speak though. You asked me my issue, so I'm going to tell you now. So
what are you? You left Shiism. What are you now? You're not Salafi. Now. What are you? Which kind of Sunni? Which kind of Sunni?
Can I just finish my thingy first? And you asked me why I've left.
Okay.
So
he doesn't want to tell us which kind of Sunni.
No. Okay. So anyway, it's just like you go into the Imam Barga and everything's like revolved around the Imams. Like you're worshiping them, like
nobody. So that's a lie. Nobody worships the Imams. Okay, nobody worships the Imams. So it'll be difficult. It'll be difficult for me to hear these lies that people worshipping the Imams. Nobody's worshipping the Imams.
Can I just? I have actually come up here to ask actually a totally different question. To be honest with you, because I've been obviously Sunni for a long time, but you was on about Tatbeed. So where doesn't our religion is so emphasized on sabr so much? So where is this Tatbeed coming into it? Like, Allah
so that's a misconception.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that Allah is with those who, in Allah ma'as sabirin, Allah is those show sabr. So where's this like hitting yourself and beating yourself?
So
not just because but every year mourning deaths.
Yeah. So but that's because you don't understand the importance of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunnah and Ahl Bayt alayhim salam sunnah. First of all, about the things that you said, nothing makes sense. Okay, and people worship Imams alayhim salam. This is total lie. Nobody worships the Imams alayhim salam. Ya Ali Madad means Ali help me. It's not worshiping. You ask me for help. I help you. You have not worshipped. You worship me. Okay. So that is totally nonsense. We can talk about every issue that you think that would be reason for a person to leave Shiism. We could discuss one by one, and I'll tell you that each one of them the Shia position is correct, and your understanding is wrong. Now let's come about Tatbir and the question of sabr. So this is not the time, but you could perhaps go watch my videos, and then before Muharram I'll also explain more in detail. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself was very well aware of the virtue of sabr. Yet he himself has cried for Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, wailing, screaming, and this is through Sahih Asanid and Umari books. So first tell, if you're
We don't have
objecting,
an issue with crying.
no. So see, everything is, if you're saying sabr, even wailing, you should be rather sabr, or rather you should wail and scream and raise your voice because somebody will be killed. Imam Hussein alayhi salam was not even killed yet. Jibreel alayhi salam told him that he will be killed. And Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would cry so loud that his voice would be heard from outside his house. His voice of wailing. So sabr,
No.
so crying also. Sabr, if you are talking about sabr, so also it goes against crying. But how many times, let me ask you, how many times have you acted upon this sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in your ulama, in your masajid? Let's say you don't do tadbir. How many times have you followed the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and have narrated the hadith of martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and cried for Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Never. You never do it. You never do it, right? You never do it.
I've cried for Imam Hussein. And she wasn't.
Never in your masajid, you perform the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Only Shias do.
Listen to Maratha Jamil. He's got plenty of lecture on martyrdom of Karbala.
I've never seen in any Sunni masajid where they narrate the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and people cry following the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Never ever. Okay? Tariq Jamil, if he cries personally, people don't cry. So he personally probably becomes tearful. I don't know. Now let's go about tatbir. Let's go about tatbir. This is a far'i masala. You know it's far'i. You know between usul al-din and furu' al-din the difference?
Go on, explain.
My apologies. This guy claims he's a Shia, but he's lying. He's not a Shia.
No, I'm not a Shia. I was an ex-Shia. Said Wallahi.
You're not even an ex-Shia.
Wallahi, swear by Allah.
What was the tashahhud? What was the Shia
Allah was an ex-Shia. You swear by Allah. I'll swear by Allah was ex-Shia.
Okay, give us the Shia tashahhud. Okay. Give us the Shia tashahhud.
Sorry?
Can you recite the Shia tashahhud?
This
is not the Shia tashahhud. This is not the Shia. This is not the Shia tashahhud. Okay. That's not important. This is not the Shia tashahhud. Anyways, okay.
Whoever's lying, maybe the curse of Allah be on them. Then come on, challenge you.
Okay, this is not the Shia tashahhud. Hold on, let me talk. Allow me.
I was an ex-Shia. And we'll swear.
All right, let me. Okay, you are an Shia. It's not important. It's not important. That's not the issue. The tashahhud you recite is not Shia tashahhud. But anyway, let me tell you something about tatbir. This is far'i. Far'i means this is not a question of usul al-din. Like how you pray, how you make wudu, many other things. We follow Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam. And Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam have said that you do sabr on every other musibah except the musibah of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. So sabr is recommended to do on every worldly. You lose your father, you lose your brother, that's recommended sabr. Not to lose your patience, not to lose your calm, not to lose your serenity, to be calm and serene in every other musibah except the musibah of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. And musibah of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam, Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam have taught us through many ahadith, many ahadith, that what is the command of God, was the pleasure of God for you to be sorrowful and for you to wail and to weep, and not only that, to lose your calm, to lose your rest in this musibah. So therefore, we hear about the family of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We love them dearer than our hearts, dearer than our own family. And then acting upon the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. So don't think that tadbir is bid'ah, because you are not aware of the tremendous amount of ahadith that ask Shia, command Shia to lose your calm in the musibah of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. A great amount of reward is promised for people who lose their calm and serenity and lose their rest, and the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and his sorrow and his tragedy. So that takes different forms. That takes the form of beating, chest beating, face beating, head beating. That's losing rest, or doing tatbir. So what's the justification? The justification is nusus. And why we take nusus from Ahlul Bayt, instructions from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I leave behind two weighty things, Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. If you follow them, you'll never go astray. And Quran says, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam are pure. All their words are clean. All their words are true. And we are been instructed by Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to follow them. So for your assertion is very good, correct, that you have to remain calm and patient and serene in all tragedies. And that is the instruction of Islam, except in the tragedy of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. So that exception is made by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself in your own books, and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam through tremendous ahadith in our books. Yes, brother Ahmed. What?
Where in our own books?
What are you saying?
I said where in the Sunni books it says to hit yourself or anything like that.
So you in your books what exists, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam losing his sabr for Imam Hussein alayhi salam and crying and wailing like a child.
No, he wept.
He not wept. No, not only he became tearful. No, he raised his crying voice like a child, and he was screaming and wailing in the tragedy of Imam Hussein. And Imam Hussein was not even killed at that time.
Yeah, he cried in a loud voice that his wife.
There's a hadith of Aisha hitting herself.
So wait, we'll
hold
get
on,
to
please.
that in a bit.
Yeah.
So
hold on. So we don't follow your books. See, and please understand. We don't follow your books. We Shias, we consider your books corrupted and lies, bunch of lies, except those places which are common between you and us that are true. So don't blame the Shias for not following you or your books. We follow Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not tell us to follow Sahaba. He said follow Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And I just told you, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam have instructed their Shia to lose their calm and the tragedy of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Just as Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam lost his calm and the tragedy of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And Imam Hussein alayhi salam was not even killed yet. Okay, Amir?
Yeah.
So you have checkmate. This is called checkmate. This is called totally defeated. Utter humiliation. Utter humiliation.
You don't believe our books, but you claim that it's in our books and it's not in our book. And when he wept,
I'm claiming that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam cried and wailed and lost his patience and sabr and the tragedy of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When Imam Hussein alayhi salam was not even killed.
Did he beat himself?
So that would be insane and stupid. That would be stupid for a person if the child is still alive to beat himself.
Oh, so would have. So what about?
So if Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Karbala, if Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Karbala and he saw Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam's 6-month-old baby was asking for water, and he's beheaded by an arrow, and he saw his own daughters, their tents being set on fire, and their hijab being taken away, and their gears being looted, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam indeed would have slapped his face. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam indeed would have grabbed dirt and actually Abdullah ibn Abbas saw that in his dream. Abdullah ibn Abbas said that I saw in the day of and it's the present in your books. I saw Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of Ashura, and he was all dirt was in his head. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so for you to require this childish Amir, listen to me. Let me finish. You asked the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not beat himself, but that would be stupid. Before the tragedy, to express that amount of sorrow in front of people who do not even know what's going to happen. All right, the tragedy has not happened yet. So before the tragedy, to express extreme amount of agony for a tragedy that is going to happen 50 years from in the future, that's ludicrous thing to demand. Yes, for a person who has lived the tragedy and he exists in time after the tragedy, for him it makes sense to do this. All right.
Yeah. So the Prophet.
But this is a question of humanity, a question of love. Amr, listen. Amr, listen. You don't know what love is. You don't know what love is. You don't know what heart means. You guys, you Omari, do not know what humanity means. Okay? You do not know what love of Hussein means. You do not know that. You do not know what love of Hussein. You love Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr is abominable, is not lovable. That's your Imam. So you would never know what love is. What do you never know what spiritual love means? That cannot never look in the heart of a Shia, what it undergoes. When a Shia hears Imam Hussein alayhi salam was thirsty, Imam Hussein alayhi salam was wounded, Imam Hussein alayhi salatu salam was lost his brothers, he has lost his sons. Please don't. Don't open our wounds. Yeah, don't open our wounds. You are the ones that in your chest there's a stone. There's no heart there. You don't have love, so you don't understand these things. This is affection. This is humanity. This is faith. Yeah, go ahead.
Salam Sheikh. Salam Sheikh.
Amir, what happened to Amir? Amir was talking.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, who is the next? Who's the next caller? Come on.
I'm still on.
Who's there?
Sheikh, Salam is
Wait, I've not finished my question yet, Fitzrah.
So if you want to talk another topic, I've answered the topic of Tadweer. You have another question?
Sheikh, I just got Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Hold on. Let Amir speak. Amir left? Why you kicked out Amir? He wanted to ask. Amir, come on back.
I'll bring him back on.
Amir, come on up. You wanted to ask another question. Amir, I'm not going to discuss.
Hadith, I invited him back. Amir, come up.
Yeah, that's Hadith of Aisha. They say it's weak. Aisha and the gang, they were beating themselves. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I just.
Oh, yeah.
She herself, we do not follow her in this action, and she clearly says she regretted it. It was out of her.
But you're saying that she is your faqih though. She is your muhaddith.
No, look.
At any rate, I'm not going to discuss with you Latam anymore. I've answered you the question of Tadbir. You have another question?
Not convinced me one bit. Sorry. Can I ask another question? Let's move on there.
Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam couldn't convince you guys. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam showed mu'jiza. He couldn't convince Aisha or Abu Bakr.
You hear what you're saying? That the Prophet would have beat himself, who showed the most sabr.
Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam lost the sabr for Hussein when he heard Jibreel. And okay, goodbye.
There's nothing.
I'm not going to discuss this with you more. I've answered you, brother. I've answered you. I told you, if Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was there, just like Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam was there, he would have lost his sabr. Just like Zainab salamullahi alayha. She lost her sabr. Okay, so yeah. So Rasul sallallahu, I told you what is the justification. You did not pay attention. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, incredible ahadith, mutawatir ahadith said, follow my Ahlul Bayt alayhim wasallam. Their words, their action. Ahlul Bayt alayhim wasallam, through their words and through their action, they have told us that you must be serene and calm and have patience in every tragedy, except tragedy of Ahlul Bayt alayhim wasallam. In that tragedy, you should show your agony. Show it off. Express your agony. Lose your calm. That's their command. And they have done that in themselves also. Zainab salamullah alayha, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, the rest of the Imams alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay? So that is the justification. Now you're saying it's not present in your books. So we are not bound by your books. Your books, we don't consider them credible. That's it. Okay, who's the next caller?
Can I ask another question?
He's back. He wants to
ask another topic, yes. Amr, if another topic, yes.
Did Khomeini believe in tahrif of the Quran?
I don't know what Khomeini believed on this subject. I don't know.
You're not sure whether he believed it? Well,
Khomeini is just one mullah. There are tens of thousands of mullah like him. Hundreds of thousands, millions of them have passed away like him.
Obviously, every Shia
doesn't matter what he believed. I don't know on this question what he believed in.
You're not sure. Was he a Suli? Do you know? Or Akbari?
What's your Usuli position? For sure. He was Usuli.
Okay. What is your position? Do you believe a Usul Kafi is all Sahih?
I believe the same thing that Aisha believes about Quran.
Okay. So you believe?
I believe the same thing that Abdullah ibn Abbas, Ubay ibn Ka'b, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Umar ibn Khattab, Abu Huraira in your books have uttered about the Noble Quran.
Right. Okay.
Same thing.
Do you believe all Kafi Sahih?
Yes, I do.
All right, because I speak to a lot of Shias, they don't believe, they believe there's a lot of weak stuff in there and fabricated stuff.
So what is weak, what's credible, that's subject to ijtihad, subject to rai and opinion, okay? That is not a hadith itself.
But you believe it's all
That's
Sahih.
not a hadith itself.
Right, yeah, I understand that. But I'm saying, do you believe it's all Sahih?
Okay, I answer your question. Do you have any other question?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Do you believe it's all Sahih, Al-Kafi?
I said so, yes. Unless if it's not a hadith therein from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Because Kafi and other books, sometimes they narrate a hadith that is not from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. For some reason, because they have a point, they narrate that. That could be weak. That could be not credible. But the hadith from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they are all credible and sahih.
Right, and do you believe that Khomeini, he believed in tahrif?
Kulaini believed in tahrif. I said they believe the same as Sahaba believed, Aisha.
Okay.
So that's your tragedy. Look, you guys are so funny, so comical. I mean, where do you stand? Amr, let me explain to you, okay? Wake up. There's not a single Sahabi or Tabi'i who says Quran has not been altered. Not a single one. There are plenty of Sahaba and Tabi'een who time and again say that loss of Quran has been lost. One more time. There's not a single Sahabi or Tabi'i who say Quran has not been altered. There are many Sahaba, their ahadith are mutawatir, who say Quran has lost many verses. As a matter of fact, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Ubay ibn Ka'ab, and Umar ibn al-Khattab, in Bukhari and Muslim, they claim that about 90% of Quran has been lost. So you tell me, how could you make ridicule Shia? How could you mock Shia? When you yourself, you do not have one hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Quran has not been lost.
Not every Shia believes in tahrif from what I know.
So I'm asking you to pay attention. You do not have one hadith from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your books that Quran has not lost ayahs, verses. You do not have one saying from any Sahabi or Tabi'i, the other coming generation, or the following generation, that Quran has not lost verses. You have hundreds of statements from Sahaba, Quran, even Uthman himself, who compiled the Noble Quran. This Quran has mistakes, and there are verses missing. Umar ibn al-Khattab, Ubay ibn Ka'ab, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, all these very senior Sahaba utter these things in Bukhari and Muslim. So what ground are you standing on that you are questioning coffee? So it's the game that your ulama have been playing, this hypocrite game with you. That Quran has not been changed, Quran has not been changed. Quran. When you ask them for proof, so what about these hadith? They run from debate. They do not discuss it. They push it under the rug. You hear me? So test me. Test me, bring your alim to debate me. Tahrif of Quran in Bukhari and Muslim. Tahrif of Quran from the eye of Umar ibn Khattab. 90% plus. Quran lost. 90% plus.
What would you say to
90% plus. So wake up. Wake up. The emperor is naked, nude. You're nude, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say to the Shia who don't believe in tahrif then? Because I speak to many Shia and that's
Amir, let me ask you something. You live in England, right? Why don't you bring Adnan Rashid about tahrif al-Quran?
Go bring Adnan, we discuss tahrif. Tahrif in Bukhari and Muslim.
Okay. Bring Hijabi. Go bring Hijabi.
Yeah, I don't really know Adnan Rashid. I'm not really sure if Hijab's a scholar as well. But anyway, what would you say to the Shia who don't believe in tahrif?
The Shia, let them call me and I'll answer them. So you're not a Shia. You are an Omari. So right now I'm calling to an Omari, okay? Shia's call me and I answer them accordingly. You can go to my YouTube channel and analyze my answer to Shia. Okay.
The scholars have explained what are in the books. You know today there's no Sunni in the world who believes in tahrif. But there's many Shia who do.
So what I'm telling you, that's because of a deception of your scholars. See, deception of your scholars. So was Umar ibn Khattab Sunni or no? Aisha Sunni. That's the leader of the Sunni. That is the top of the Sunni is Aisha and Umar and Abdullah ibn Abbas and Ubay ibn Ka'ab and the Sahaba and the Tabi'een. They say there's not one of them that say Quran has not been altered. All of them say Quran has not changed.
One last question as well. Sorry, thanks for your patience.
No. Amir. Let me get your reaction. Answer this question. Like what? Where's your sanity? Where's your aql? Where's your reason? That no Sahabi says Quran has not been altered. And many Sahabi, whoever is speaking about the integrity of Quran, they have said Quran has lost verses. Many verses. Omar says 90% plus. So what's your reaction to this?
But I will. This is a hadith I will look into. But as you do know, the Sunni.
So you can read books. You can read books.
Yeah, I can read books. Just one last
question. No,
then.
English or Arabic too?
No, English.
So why? Listen, if Quran is solid and and especially in the Sunni tradition, no verses thereof has been lost, what would be the harm for your scholars to come and challenge me and say, Allahyari, you are lying? In our denomination, in our madhab, in our aqidah, we have solid proofs Quran has not lost a single verse.
Okay,
what would be the what would be the harm? Test me.
I can ask Adnan Rashid. I don't really know him.
And look at the level of your scholars' deception in nifaq. They have that they mock Shia day and night, while their own books are replete with narrations from Abu Bakr, Omar, Aisha, that the real Quran was eaten by goats, verses were lost, 90% of Quran was lost. So tell me, aren't your scholars munafiq? None of them come here to debate me on the integrity of Quran. None of them. I've been waiting for years and years and years. Test me.
I've seen you debate plenty of Sunni scholars. I don't think.
Oh yeah. But now go and bring one of your scholars to debate me on the question of integrity of Quran.
Okay. I'll try.
Would you try that?
I don't really know.
Would you help me?
Would
you try to facilitate a debate on that? Okay.
But I don't know.
Bring Zakir Naik. How about we bring Zakir Naik?
Okay, one last question.
He's not going to come.
Why is it that I noticed, Allahyari, that every other Shia, or not, majority, 90% claim to be Sayyid?
So that's
Imam Barga, where I used to
so
go.
that's not a religious thing. That is not an instruction of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Look, if people, there are Sunnis also claiming to be Sayyid. That's not just Shia, right? India, Pakistan, North Africa, there are many people who are claiming Sayyid. So who is real Sayyid, who is not, we don't know. So that is not part of Shiism, to have lots of Sayyid or have little amount of Sayyid. So that's not Hadith, Aqidah of Shia. That's individual families, family histories. They have either authentic family trees, or they have fake family trees, or they've been mistaken, misled. So that is something Allah knows. That's not part of Shiism.
There are people claim that to be Abu Bakr's lineage. There are people in Afghanistan claim we are the sons of Abu Bakr. So what do you talk about that?
No, I've never heard of this, sorry. But I've been in
Afghanistan, it's full.
Okay. Brother Abu Zar, you let me talk, please. Thank you. My love bless you. Okay, Amr, you take care, inshallah. Come in the coming nights also, okay? Bring somebody to discuss with me Quran,
yeah, I'll try and get somebody.
Okay, nobody is going to come. Your scholars are chickens. They're going to run away. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Shaykh. How are you doing?
Not bad, thank you. Thank you for coming. How are you? How was your Ramadan?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, everything's good. Alhamdulillah, I had the opportunity to do ziyarah in Iraq as well and visit the Imams, alayhim assalam. So definitely been a good Shahr Ramadan.
May Allah accept your fasting and your ziyarah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Just a couple of questions relating on this topic. Obviously, first, the caller said before about Khomeini believing tahrif. He doesn't, although it's not important according to his book. But for many years, the Omariya, they brought this dawah stall claim where they said, for example, the Quran is one, there's not one vowel sign, not one letter changed. And a few years ago in Speaker's Corner, I don't know if you know Speaker's Corner, the park in London, which a lot of people gather. So the Christians brought these qira'at, the current ones which exist today. And obviously some people mix that up with ahruf, which is a different thing. And they showed, for example, the Warsh version, where there are clear variations, like instead of qala, something like qutila,
or not only differences in phonetics, differences in words, actually, differences in letters, not just phonetics.
Yeah, so like they had a hard time answering this because you got fatabayinu, fatathabbatu, kathir, kabir. So there's clear differences. Their argument is that, it makes the Quran more eloquent, but the thing is it goes against their initial claim, which they always push forth, that the Quran's not changed once. So I just wanted firstly your opinion about these current qira'at, because I've seen some Shia scholars differ on them. For example, the one used in Maghrib, in Morocco a lot, the Warsh version. And the second question is about ziyada. So if we assume that, let's say, a Shia says tahrif nuqsan, it remains the word of Allah. Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam said it's clear hujjah. But for the Bakriya, they have a big problems, so many verses lost. The Sahaba recited it different. But how about ziyada, where someone says like the word of man has been added in the Quran, or there's extra words? Would that not break the argument that it's a miracle and it's a pure kalam of Allah? Because if someone believed in nuqsan, it still remains the words of Allah, but then adding. What is also your opinion on this as well?
So let's go one by one. First, about qira'at. So qira'at is obviously with regards to the same manuscript that Uthman compiled, Uthman and Zayd ibn Thabit. At the time when they compiled the Quran, they were not using dots and they were not using harakat. And also, the people who wrote Quran, they were very illiterate people. And their They did not really. The Arabic at that time didn't have really rules of writing, and everybody would write in their own style, and they made 7 different manuscripts, and there were mistakes in these manuscripts because Uthman himself said in Bukhari, "Inna fiha lahan." There are errors in Quran. The very Quran that he compiled and he burnt the other Qurans, he said this Quran has errors, and then he sent these Qurans over to different cities, and later on it emerged that people are reciting these Qurans in different ways, and their differences are quite stark. So, and there are many qira'at, perhaps like 20 different qira'at. Some of them are more common, and some of them are less common. So none of these qira'at are because of people. Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam hadith says, al-qira'at min qibal al-nas. Ikhtilaf al-qira'at min qibal al-nas. The difference between methods of recitations and wording and pronunciation and phonetics. This is because people have done something with Quran. So each person who has recited, he has deviated a little bit. Which one is the real one? We don't know. Which one is the original one? We do not know. Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam have instructed us, iqra'u kama yaqra'u nas. Just as it's being recited. So all these qira'at mashhura, all these accepted versions of qira'at as people, common Muslims recite the Noble Quran, Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam have commanded us to recite them, and they are all hujjah on the account of the command of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam. Umaris do not have any leg to stand on. What makes a qira'ah hujjah? No. So they all know that all these qira'at are not correct. So all of these qira'at are not correct. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and verily Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not recite these in these different ways. So this is because of individuals and because of different generations that people did not know, did not get Quran from one source. So different opinions evolved about how to recite these verses. So they do not have any leg to stand on why a certain qira'ah would be hujjah, the other one would not be hujjah. This is about qira'at. Now with regard to ziyada, so there are narrations that this is very rare in the Noble Quran. That some places, for instance, Ya laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila, or some other place in the Noble Quran, that a word has been changed with another word. These are rare. And Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam still have told us to recite the way it is written in the Noble Quran, and do not try to recite it in the way those verses are in their Hadith. So we are going to recite the way it is written in the manuscripts that exist in the Muslim world, common between Muslims. Now, these additions are very rare, and these additions are not in the short surahs of the Noble Quran. These are in the long surahs of the Noble Quran. And still nobody can, if there's a hadith that there's addition of let's say a letter or a word, and these are very rare, very few occasions that a hadith exists with regard to Quran that they have occurred. Very, very rare. They do not change the miracle nature of the Noble Quran. What's the miracle nature of the Noble Quran? That nobody can bring a surah like that. And time has proven that. Time has proven that nobody has been able to bring a surah like the many surahs of the Noble Quran, be it the lengthy surahs like Baqarah, Al Imran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah Al-A'raf, or the short surahs, Surah Al-Nas, Surah Al-Kawthar, Qul Huwallahu Ahad. Nobody has been able to bring an example like a very short surah of Quran or a very long surah of the Quran. So it doesn't harm that Quran is a challenge to mankind, that they cannot do, although these are words of eloquence, and there are eloquent people. So, and they should be, if it was a man-made thing, if these were words, fabricated words by a man, illiterate man, it would be very easy for other people to bring something that's that at least like choose one surah that's half a page or 1 page or longer, and then bring a passage like that. And it's not happened yet. And it would have been so easy for them, right? Instead of debating, instead of creating missionary services to try to convert Muslims, and the Salibi Wars, the Crusaders, for about 2 centuries. These wars continued for 2 centuries. And wave after wave after wave of warriors and knights would come from Europe to the Middle East, and they would encounter Muslims, and people would be killed. And so all of that, there was no need for that. Islam would have been defeated so easily. Even today, Muslim could be converted so easily to atheism or to Christianity or other religions. If they defeat Quran on this one challenge that all Muslim sects, Shia and Umaris, they both concur that Quran is a miracle and nobody can bring a surah like the surahs of the Noble Quran. Yes, brother.
So could they not argue then, of course, if there is a ziyada, even if it be, is a little word, then the words of a fallible man are still mixed in with the Quran? Because I've heard some people who accept tahrif nuqsan, but they say the ziyada is problematic because now we have a mix with the words. And also
so that is the challenge, that they cannot bring a surah. So if these are rare, these are not everywhere in Quran. So if in a surah there's just one letter or one word, if they cannot bring the like of it, so the ijaz of Quran stands unchallenged and it stands successful.
Because of course there are some
that's not the ijaz. The ijaz is not that nothing has been mixed with it. That's not the ijaz.
Oh, you're saying surah as a whole, a chapter as a whole, you mean?
Exactly. That's the I thought you knew that. So that's the verse of the Quran says, in kuntum fi raybin mimma nazzalna ala abdina, and if you are in doubt with regard to this message that we have revealed to our servant, fa'tu bi suratin min mithli. Bring a surah like the surahs of the Quran. Bring one surah. So Quran doesn't say that bring one verse. No, that's not the challenge. The challenge is that it's not to bring one page, or 2 pages. No, bring one surah. So surah could be one line, or surah could be half a page. Surah could be 2 pages, 3 pages, 20 pages, depending on the surah. So the person who is accepting the challenge, he will have to choose that I'm going to choose this surah and I'm going to bring a surah like this. Like in people who study poetry and the Arab world and Farsi speaking world, Urdu speaking world, there are lots of poets. So they take one poem and they produce poems like that. A lot of time they succeed to produce poems much better than the original one. So that happens quite often. So this is the challenge of the Noble Quran. Yes, brother.
Okay, I'm aware of the word surah, but some would argue the word still being in it from man. But I get your argument about the qira'at. So obviously we go by, you mentioned the hadith readers of people read. Would you say it's permissible to read, for example, warsh in salah, or we just keep to hafs, the most common one that's normally found in all the masajid, whether Sunni or so
Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam have not said that you recite hafs or warsh or which one. Iqra'u kama yaqra'u an-nas, as people recite. So people recite like warsh, you can take that one and recite like that. Or Qalun, or this Hafs and Asim, or any qira'at that are mashhur that a lot of people recite. That would be, if you recite per that qira'at, you have complied with the instruction of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, iqra'u kama yaqra'u an-nas.
Okay, Khair Mamnun, thank you for the
thank you so much. Thank you for coming. May Allah bless you.
Thank you.
Brother Nadeem, open your mic.
We learned from you, and it was a good participation. May Allah bless you.
Nadeem,
who's the next caller?
Nadeem.
Oh, assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum salam.
Shaykh Allahyari, how are you, man?
Not bad. Where are you calling from, Nadeem?
I'm calling from Canada, British Columbia.
Thank you for being here, brother.
I have some questions for you. It's regarding Al-Kafi, the 12 Imams, and Shaykh Hassan. So I've been studying Al-Kafi and studying in the sense I've been reading them. So far, all the traditions, they are very nice. They're very beautiful. So why is it that the majority of Shias are saying that it's not 100% Sahih?
So that's not what the majority of Shia used to say. All of Shia used to concur that all of Kafi is Sahih, until Shia scholars decided that they should learn from Umaris. So when they started following Umaris,
which scholars?
Shia seminaries in general. So they started because Shia scholars started to applying Umari principles of Hadith on Shia Hadith. So these principles of hadith, which hadith is sahih, which hadith is za'if, these are all ijtihad of Umari scholars. These principles have been written by Umari scholars. These are not verses of the Noble Quran. These are not hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That what makes a hadith sahih, what makes a hadith da'if. These are things, opinions of Umari scholars. So Shia scholars decided that they should import these, these principles.
I can take Al-Kafi as like, I can take any tradition I like. Like, I don't need to worry, if it's Da'if or Hasan, or if it's Gharib, or if it's Sahih. Like, I don't need to worry about that.
Absolutely, but that's not what your Mujtahideen would say, right? Not all of Mujtahideen, a lot of Mujtahideen say that all of Kafi is Sahih, but there are, right now, the majority of Mujtahideen, they would say, no, majority of Kafi is Da'if. That's they would say. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's because Mujtahideen have decided to follow the Umaris, on this question.
Next question is regarding the 12 Imams. I understand that pre-occultation, the narration of the 12 number is in Basair al-Darajat by Safar al-Qummi. Is there any text before Safar al-Qummi or other than Basair al-Darajat?
Oh, there are many. So there are thousands of hadith about the 12 Imams alayhim as-salam way before Safar al-Qummi. So that, of course. If you
Nadeem,
go to the books of
can you put your
Haris,
camera properly, please? Can you put straight your camera, please?
Oh, because I have it standing. Otherwise, I have to hold it and I'm writing down at the same time. Okay, there you go.
That's fine.
Is that better? Okay, I don't know why Shias are saying.
So about the 12 Imams, the 12 Imams, so there are, if you go to the books of Faharis, there are lots of books on Imam, and lots of books were written specifically in enumerating the 12 Imams alayhim as-salam, and books and then before and then books that predate Basair al-Darajat. There were many books that predate Basair al-Darajat, from which Al-Kulayni rahimahullah narrates in his Al-Kafi, from which Shaykh al-Saduq narrates in his Ikmaluddin. So these books which predate Basair al-Darajat, actually, but Basair al-Darajat is not very vociferous about enumerating Imams and who they are. It's more about attributes of Imamah, Fadail of Imamah. But there are many, so there are many ahadith with that regard. Kitab al-Sulaym mentions all the 12 Imams alayhim as-salam. So there are lots of books.
Okay. I don't want to take too much of your time. Last question, Tahrif, Sheikh Kulayni. So the thing is that, you see, I'm a convert. Okay, I was not Shia all my life. But the thing is that when I'm studying, for example, there has been tahrif in Sunni and Shia literature. But the fact is that when Shias are actually cornering other Shias, do you believe in tahrif? One says, yeah. Those Shias are saying, oh, you're a kuffar, you're a mulhid, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, bro, what about Sheikh Kulayni? He believes in tahrif. So what are you going to say about him then? Right? So what do you have to say about that? Because doesn't Shaykh Kulayni not believe in tahrif?
Kulayni is not important. Aimma alayhim as-salam, the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, they have clearly stated that the verse of Quran has been changed and been taken away. That's the end of the story. Who is Kulayni? Who is Kulayni compared to Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, to Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, right? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, my ummah will follow the path of the ummahs before me. Hijran bi hijrin, shibran bi shibrin, wa dhira' bi dhira'. Step by step. They will follow their pathways. Hold on. Don't, quiet. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said what? My ummah will follow them. What did the previous ummah do? They changed their books. Did Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam once say that they will follow their example, but except in changing Quran? Not once. So this is a fraud carried out by Sunni ulama, Umari scholars, and our scholars are imitating them, mimicking them. Okay. Oh yeah, that Quran has not been altered. No verse has been lost. Okay, what's the proof? Nothing. No proof. Okay, what about the proofs that say the verse of the Noble Quran has been lost? Push him under the rug. Yeah, no explanation. Run away from debate. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Chalo, theek hai, bhai. Thank you very much, Hassan Saab.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Who's the next caller?
Dr. Amina Sadozai from California.
Hi, Mr. Allahyari.
Assalamu alaikum, sister. How are you?
Thank you. So I have a question. This Muhammad, if it is true, so why Prophet Muhammad didn't say about it? Didn't predict that there will be 12 Imam in the future.
So that was the other brother was asking. So the Hadith are tremendous about 12 Imams. So if you watch, there was a debate with Mufti Abrar about the 12 Imams in Sunni sources 3 weeks ago in the month of Ramadan.
I didn't see that.
Oh, not with Mufti Abrar. Who was that? Who was that Mufti? The 12 Imams. Oh, Mufti. Yeah, there was a Mufti. Because so many Muftis coming. We had a 3-hour debate. What was his name? That Mufti
Muhammad was very smart and he knew
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yeah. So yeah, of course. And then I spoke about the 12 Imams alayhim salam only in the Sunni sources. The Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam time and again said after there be 12 Imams, and he told their names. So he has been introduced by him. So it was a 3-hour debate. If you could watch, if you know Urdu, go to my Urdu channel. Yeah.
As well.
So let me say what was his name. I'm going to check that Maulvi's name, and I'll tell you. Yeah. Let me check his name. Here we go.
Yesterday you spoke about it too, Alama, about Imama from their books.
No, but that was in detail, right? It was. What's his name?
Is it debate on YouTube? So that
of course, it's on my Urdu channel.
You understand Urdu, sister?
No, I don't know. Just a little bit.
Just Farsi, right? You understand Farsi?
Farsi and English, some Arabic.
Yeah. So it was about 3 weeks ago, and these guys who make my thumbnails, they don't put pictures of the people I do debates with, so I don't see his picture's name. Let me ask Brother Asim. Brother Asim, what was his name? The guys. Hold on. Yeah, what was his name? Hold on. Let me get your audio. What was his name? Hold on, let me get you Asim.
Rasul Madani.
What was Madani? What Madani?
Abdul Rasul Madani.
Abdul Rasul Madani. Abdul Rasul Madani.
Yeah.
Abdul Rasul Madani. Okay, it was about 2-3 weeks ago. If you could watch it, even if you don't understand Urdu, I'll show the hadith, you will see there on the screen. Okay.
So
now
exactly,
yes, go ahead.
So exactly, prophets say that there will be 12 and the 12.
Absolutely. There are many hadiths to that. A lot of people are surprised. So watch that debate.
Why Imam had stopped on 12 Imam? What happened after that?
Because that's Allah's choice. Because the 12 Imam is still alive.
So the 12 Imam is enough for guidance to people?
Absolutely. Absolutely they're enough. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, until the day of judgment, these are 12 Imams. No more. There will not be 13, there will not be 14. There will be only 12 Imams alayhim assalam. Okay? They will the ones.
Who is the Imam at this time?
The Imam of the age, the 12th Imam.
So he's not here. So how he guides the people?
So because his guidance is here, he guides people. He's here and he guides people. So so you're not familiar. So these are basic questions. They're important questions, but he's here and he's guiding people. So don't say he's not here.
Okay, then thank you. I'm listening.
May Allah bless you. Okay, somebody asked me last week about this. There's a lady who was asking about zina brings sudden death, and sadaqah and acts of kindness, they increase your lifespan. They said, show me the hadith. Here's the hadith. Al-Kafi lil-Kulayni rahimahullah, volume number 5. So here we go. Page number 542. Okay, let me see which hadith here. Ya Bunayya, Yaqub said to his son, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam said, Yaqub said to his son, Ya Bunayya la tazni, my son, never commit zina, fornication or adultery. فَإِنَّ الطَّائِرَ لَوْ زَنَا لَتَنَاثَرَ رِيشُهُ. If a bird commits fornication or adultery, its wings and its feathers fall off. And there's another one clearly about zina brings early death. Hold on. Here. The next hadith. The next hadith is very clear. Said, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir عليه السلام said, Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم said, في الزنا 5 خصال. There are 5 outcomes to zina. يذهب بماء الوجه. It causes dishonor. It causes you to lose your respect. ويورث الفقر. And it brings forth impoverishment. You'll be poor. وينقص العمر. And it decreases your lifespan. It brings forth your death quick. ويسخط الرحمن. And it causes the wrath and anger and rage of God. ويخلد في النار. And it makes you to stay in hell permanently forever. Okay? And now, so zina brings quick death. And now acts of kindness, as sadaqah, they increase your lifespan. This is Al-Kafi lil-Kulayni rahimahullah, volume number 4. Babu fadl sadaqah. Virtues of sadaqah, giving alms. Al-birru, acts of kindness, acts of favor. Was-sadaqah, and giving alms. Yanfiyani al-faqr, they push away, they prevent, they remove poverty. وَيَزِيدَانِ فِي الْعُمْرِ, and they increase your lifespan. وَيَدْفَعَانَ التِّسْعِينَ مِيتَةَ السُّوءِ, and 90 types of sudden, unexpected, calamitous death. Dying from car accidents, dying from falling off rocks, getting cancer and dying, and dying in a fire. All these sudden bad deaths, they prevent it. A person who is always kind, a person who always gives alms, he's not going to die in such deaths. Okay? And there are other hadith also to that effect. Okay, let's go to TikTok.
Alama, somebody asked a question in the comments. He asked, is God's will, irada, part of his action or attribute?
No, that is part of al-irada. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is murid. Allah ta'ala, that's his... So irada means, see, irada in ahadith, that's the one important thing. The irada always doesn't mean the same thing in Quran and also in hadith. Sometimes irada means the action itself. The action itself. So in the cases that irada means the action itself, then of course that's his sifatul fa'al. And in cases that irada is means his knowledge, that's from sifatul dhat, the attributes of the essence. Okay.
Shah Zaman Ali, open your mic, please, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. Can you hear me?
Alaikum salam. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lahore, Pakistan.
Yes, sir, Shah Zaman. What's happening?
Okay, all right. So first of all, Assalamu alaikum to all my Shia fellow Shias watching this, and especially to the great Alama. First of all, Shaykh, I just wanted to say a few comments and a few short questions which I had. Firstly, there was that very jahil and probably lying guy who came, said he was an ex-Shia, which is probably not true, but whatever. He had mentioned a thing about sabr. And I find that ironic because one of the most important, I guess, parts of being a Shia, especially today, especially in Ghaiba, is patience. And Shias are persecuted everywhere. I mean, you can be an atheist and you cannot deny the undeniable evidence that Shias are persecuted around the world. And even the United Nations has, made a few documents on Shia persecution around the world. So despite that persecution, we are patient. And we remember our current Imam, which this one lady was talking about just now, Ajalallahu Ta'ala Farjak Sharif. So we constantly remember him. And so Shaykh, first of all, I just wanted to say that thank you so much for your work. Honestly, salute to you. What you do is amazing. We remember you in your prayers. Thank you so much. Okay, because really all that you've done is, you've essentially just said what Ahlul Bayt alayhim Islam said. Like I got introduced to you when I watched your series on Taqleed, which you made. It's 30-part series. And so in it, you had said that, and that really touched me. It was a very important thing that you said, that my opinion doesn't matter. What matters is Ahlul Bayt alayhim Islam and Ahlul Bayt alayhim Islam's riwayat and their narrations, because this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants.
Yes.
So anyway, so Shaykh, I just had one recommendation or kind of comment or whatever, and then one short question. The recommendation I had was, Shaykh, it's I guess a bit unfortunate, and I was hoping that maybe you could discuss this. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of good quality lectures because there's not a lot of good quality Shia speakers. You're a very exceptional case, where they're discussing the biography of Imams alayhim Islam, whose biographies are not as discussed. Like, for instance, Mawla Muhammad al-Jawad alayhi Islam or Mawla Ali al-Hadi alayhi Islam. Their biographies... And I would listen to some other Shia sheikhs, but then I always listen to them with a grain of salt, because then I know that they say a lot of stuff which is not true, unfortunately. Very sad. So if you could maybe just sometime in the future, one day, in the English language, inshallah. And sir, one question which I had actually was that, so in Pakistan, I've heard, and in the subcontinent as a whole, when it comes around Muharram time, there's this thing which is mentioned about Jafar Jinn, this jinn, Zafar Jinn, who helped Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Is that true?
So Zafar is people saw in their dreams and stuff, and people saw jinn. People who have communication with jinns. And I think some people who have been to Karbala for ziyarah, they saw Zafar. And they met Zafar. So Zafar's story comes from there. It's let me do a reading on this, but I don't think it's a hadith, Zafar al-Jinni. Because jinn, they loved Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the Shia jinn, Muslim jinn. And they wanted to help, but Imam Hussein alayhi salam turned them down. So Za'far is, as I remember, it's not mentioned in a hadith, but that's been a long time since I've looked. Let me look at this up, and then tomorrow I'm going to answer this question, or day after tomorrow. Za'far al-Jinn. Okay. So it's more about people who have communication with jinn, and there's many times through many generations, different people, they all have concurred that Za'far al-Jinni was one of those people, and then he died of 70, 80 years ago. Because jinn, they have long lifespans. Jinn are not like us. They live like hundreds of years. So that's his story. But I'm going to look this up, okay? Look it up and answer you, inshallah. Okay. Yeah.
Sheikh, I had one more short question. So I had a question. There's this hadith which I've heard about. I've never heard of it being cited in any... I know that, of course, we reject this usuli biddat of ilm al-rijal, which comes from the Umaris. But but I've never heard of it in any famous Shia book, at least. So maybe you might have heard of it. There's a hadith which I've heard some Shia Maulana speak about, Hadith al-Haqiqa, of Imam Ali alayhi salam talking to his companion Kumail. and telling his companion Kumail, I don't know the Arabic, but roughly it goes like what what flows in you overflows in me. And there's like some time travel that happens in that hadith where he makes his companion time travel from Isha time straight to Fajr time.
I don't know about that. Okay, I don't know about that. It doesn't come to my mind. Hadith al-Haqiqa. Never heard of it. Okay. Maybe it's because there are hadith of miracles and traveling in space, traveling in distant places in a short time. But time travel, I don't recall seeing that. So, but you can, if you could send me a reference, I can look it up. So by this name, Hadith al-Haqiqa, in Arabic books, I doubt there's any such hadith known as that. Hadith al-Haqiqa. Maybe in Urdu books, Zakirin have lots of things, right? Zakirin have lots of different names, and So and in Urdu books, there are lots of things in Urdu books that they don't exist in Arabic books. Yeah, so lots of things have been changed in translation into Urdu. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, may Allah bless you, brother Shahzaman. So may Allah keep you well. Thank you very much. May Allah bless you. Let me take brother. May Allah bless you. Thank you for your participation. Excellent participation. Thank you. Ali Mustafa, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for being here, brother. What's happening?
Alhamdulillah, all is well. I had a couple of questions, if you would kindly allow me.
Sure. Amir Hussain is on the line. I'll take you next. Okay. Yes, brother.
Okay. So, Sheikh, my question was regarding taqiyya. So, what I'm trying to understand is, how do we balance both taqiyya and preaching at the same time? For example,
so taqiyya supersedes. Taqiyya supersedes, okay? So if you are in danger, then you don't do tabligh. Then you...
So, sorry. So basically, for example, like you are a very famous speaker and like hundreds and thousands of people listen to you, and not all of them are Shia, right? So a lot of these beliefs of Tashayyu, they were not apparent to the Umari people, right?
They were. And everything was apparent. Everything was apparent. You should go and listen to Haq Nawaz Jangavi. His speeches from 1990s and 1980s. How they were quoting everything from Shia books. They all, Sabai Sahaba published their books in the 80s and the 90s, everything about Shia. Things that you think they don't know. All the things were made public in their masajid and their in Urdu language, and there's a lot of lies added to it, that Shias say this, do this, and the Shias are kafir because they don't like Abu Bakr, they curse Abu Bakr, they curse Umar, and they consider Quran to be missing verses. All of that, they knew it very well. So pretending that they did not know was self-deceiving.
Okay, so there is a reference, but I heard this a rawaya from Imam Musa Qasim alayhi salam, and the rawaya goes something like this: that there was a follower of his who worked for the caliph, and he asked the imam how to do wuzu properly, and Imam wrote back to him and said that you should
Ali ibn
wash your feet instead
That's Ali
of
ibn
wiping
wash your feet, yes.
And
wash your feet, and then the king was watching him from behind the curtain, and that saved his life, right? And then Imam Ali Salam wrote him after that, now you do masa. Yeah. Yes.
So you don't think that it sort of doesn't it make a sort of confusion where you are supposed to do taqiyya and where you are supposed to preach?
So I told you, whenever you're in danger, you don't preach. And that
right.
hadith that you quoted, it's not about preaching. It's about making wudu even in the privacy of his home. Because there were spies watching him. The Khalifa himself was watching him, how he makes wudu. So Imam alayhi salam knew that, and Imam alayhi salam loved him, and Imam alayhi salam saved his life by telling him to wash his feet in wudu. That's not about preaching. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. May Allah bless you. Amir Hussain on WhatsApp, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Alaikum
I
salam.
hope you are doing well.
Thank you so much. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. What's happening?
No problem. I need to express my gratitude for all of your efforts for teaching us the ulum of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. And especially today that you proved that the God of our mukhalifin is like a monster. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a question in terms of ahkam today? Or
Sure. Be my guest.
My question. Okay. Thank you. My question is that I saw some hadith in terms of temporary marriage, in which it was allowed to marry someone without the permission of the father.
Yeah.
I was
So if a woman is not virgin, she has been married and divorced before, she doesn't need her father's permission. Okay. But if
the
a woman,
hadith was about the virgin, so
these ahadith you have to take precaution. If she's a virgin, then you should take the father's permission. Okay. Because there are other hadith also which say that you have to take permission of the father. All right.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, if she's an Omari, if she's an Omari Deobandi, it's fine. You don't need father's permission. If she's happy.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Wahabi sisters, they're the best.
Can I ask a similar question in this way? Because some people have
because we believe in love and unity. Yeah.
Okay. This is the unity, not the one that others claim.
Ummat,
this is the
ummat. Yeah.
And excuse me, sir, if you allow me to ask.
Yeah.
Some people have created some shubahat in my. When I'm thinking, they say that even like for example in those hadith in terms of the virgin, there is a prohibition in for the female to lose her sign of virginity.
Okay. Then I said if she's a virgin, then you should take her father's permission. Okay, and no father is going to give you permission. Okay. So you have to marry her permanently. Yes. Basically, marry her permanently. That's the best thing. Okay, if she's a good girl, you should marry her permanently.
Okay.
That's the respectful thing to do. That's fair to the father, fair to the girl. Okay. If she is if she's not Shia, then it's okay. Because we believe
if she's, for example, Christian. If, for example, she's Christian.
Yeah, if she's Christian, you're not allowed to marry permanently. So you have to do muta with her.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Keep you
have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, brother? Brother Asim.
Alaikum assalam. Yari Madad. How are you, brother?
Thank you so much. Thank you for waiting, being patient. May Allah bless you.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. I'm always there, and definitely waiting and listening to you is even better. MashaAllah, alhamdulillah.
Thank you, sir.
So, first of all, I would like to comment on a few things. The person who was actually trying to behave like an ex-Shia, it was ridiculous, and his comments about things that were actually ridiculous or insane. And I really feel them, they are really ill-fated. That is the most we can say the lightest word I can use for those people who leave the madhab of al-Bayt, and they just try to.
But let me tell you, in the West, there are a lot of people who came. Their families get divorced. For instance, father goes away, and let's say a mother is left with 2 kids, and the mother is not very religious. And she marries an Omari, or she lives in a neighborhood where there's Omari mosque. And these kids, they go to the Omari mosque. So it happens. The Shias leave. It's just because of bad circumstances. It happens sometimes. It's not common, it happens. But that is because of the way the kids are brought up. Sometimes the father is not religious. He drinks, or he doesn't care about religion, never goes to masjid. He doesn't teach his kids. So his kids want to learn about religion, and their friends, nobody is Shia. And everything they hear about Shia is bad things, right? So it's possible. It's possible. And not in Pakistan, where there are lots of Shias everywhere. There's a Shia masjid, Shia communities. But in Europe, in America, sometimes it happens. It's mostly because of failed families, failed marriages, because there are a lot of places where there's no Shia masjid. You cannot have Shia friends because there's nobody Shia there. So you grow up and you are coming from Pakistan, you're an Arab or Iranian, and you look different than Americans. And the only people that are like you, they're like Arabs or Pakistanis who are not Shia, and they hate Shia. And your family doesn't teach you anything about Shia or Ahlul Bayt or Imam Ali alayhi salam. The only thing, or because your mother, for instance, is Christian, your father married a Christian woman, and then the father himself, he doesn't practice Islam, so he never teaches you anything. So the result of those people who, with upbringing in the West, with failed families, failed marriages, and parents themselves not teaching their kids anything about Islam, and not introducing them to Shia schools, Shia madrasas for kids, Shia learning, majalis. So yeah, of course, it can happen. It's not an impossible thing. People become murtad all the time. Yeah.
That's correct. That's the most appropriate. Definitely answered that. MashaAllah. The next thing is that about the Ru'yat Hilal means the sighting of the moon for the chand of the Eid. What do you say? How should is there any particular narration of Ahlul Bayt or from the Imams about this? That what should be the correct way to do that?
So
because
people have to see it.
So
yeah, it's the vision in a hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Sighting is by naked eye, when a lot of people see it, or 29 days of Ramadan is and 30 days of Ramadan completes, because Ramadan can never have 31 days. So if 30 days have passed, then of course next day is Eid. Whether you see it or not see it doesn't matter. It's going to be Eid. Other than that, if it's 29 days of Ramadan, tomorrow 30th day is either first Shawwal or 30th day of Ramadan. So that is when sighting is important. So that is when people see it with naked eye. If enough number of people see it, then yes, it's proven that Hilal has been seen. If one or two people see, no. If two people claim that we have seen it, that doesn't count. So it should be visible. A lot of people see it. And if there is dust or pollution or a sandstorm or dust storm or clouds, you cannot see the horizon, the visibility is limited, then you can rely on other towns, nearby towns. So in the adjacent towns, areas, people there, if they see it and they call you, yeah, we saw it, then of course, Eid is proven that way also. Yeah, that's
Correct.
the only way to see proving Eid.
Okay, and the fitrana. What about the fitrana of the Eid?
So fitrah is whatever you eat most. So if you go back a few centuries, a lot of people were poor. So you ate one thing a lot. So it was every night. It was, for instance, bread and lassi, for instance, bread and dahi, for instance. So a lot of people didn't have, like now, you have different foods on the table. So every night is different. One night is vegetables, one night is dal, one night is salan. So it's, but if you go back a few centuries, people were poor. People had one dish, and that's what they mostly ate. Maybe once a week they ate some meat, or maybe once every 2 weeks they ate meat. And vegetable was also not very common to cook vegetables and eating vegetables. These are new things that people eating. For instance, they cook, especially in Arabia, and maybe in India, because people were vegetarian, they used to eat beans and okra and vegetables. But in Muslim areas, a lot of people just ate very simple food, most of it, either meat or grains, or just plain bread with some milk, or with cheese, or with yogurt or lassi. That was their most of the common food. So whatever food that you eat, one saw is 3.5 kilos. 3.5 kilos, a little less than 3.5, but you can be generous. 3.5 kilos for each person in your family. So if, let's say in my family, for instance, let's say it's me and my kids and my parents and my brothers and sisters. So we count them, everybody is maybe 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, or just maybe it could be 2 people. It could be just husband and wife. So the people whom you support, you provide for their sustenance, you have to pay their fitrah. Their fitrah is 3.5 kilos of food, or its price. What food? So any food. It could be flour, it could be atta, or it could be maida, whole wheat flour or white flour, Or it could be rice. If you want to go a little more expensive, rice is more expensive than flour. Or you could buy beans like dal or channa, garbanzo beans, kidney beans, any of these foods you buy. Or you want to spend more money. Dates are more expensive than beans, right? So that's more expensive. But it's up to you. You choose one of these food items, 3.5 kilos for every person. So let's say there are 10 people in somebody's family. 3.5 times 10 is 35 kilos. So you have the choice. You have the choice of carrying 35 kilos of food, rice or beans or a mixture thereof. So I buy 10 kilos of rice, 10 kilos of beans, 10 kilos of dal, of oil, 35 kilos. And I carry this to a house of a poor Shia. This has to be done before namaz of Eid.
Okay.
Before namaz. You can do before Eid also. You can do one day before Ramadan, before Eid. But it's better to do it before praying Eid in the morning, to take it. Or you can give the money. The other option is just the money. So you price it. Okay, 35 kilos of beans or rice or flour, whichever. So it's, let's say it's $50, 50 rupees a kilo. I don't know. What's flour in Pakistan now? Atta.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's around you can get it around 1,200 to 1,800 rupees for 10 kgs.
For 10,
Sometimes
180
for
per
25.
100. How much is rice?
100.
Like good, not super rice,
A
but
good
regular,
rice.
like regular
Yeah,
rice.
the regular rice. Yeah, the regular rice is around it ranges around 150 to 250. The regular one per
It's
kg.
same as atta? Almost same as atta?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's
atta
correct.
is expensive. I thought atta would be very cheap compared to rice.
Yeah, but
it's almost equal.
recently it went up.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
So
recently.
anyway,
But
so
the
you
government
choose you choose that. Let's say I choose atta, and atta is, let's say 200 rupees per kilo. 35 kilos times 200, that's like 70,000 rupees. I can give that money to a poor person. So he has to be Shia, 12 or Shia. But also you can give it to your family members that you do not support. If there's somebody poor, like an aunt, an uncle, a cousin who's poor, you can give it to him also. Or you can give it to your neighbors. And also you can give it to Shia, to non-Shia who are not Nasibi. If a non-Shia is not Nasibi, he's a good person, he doesn't hate Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, you can give him also. So this is the ruling for paying your fitrah.
Yeah. One little question just came in my mind about the fatwas. The people actually about just coming back to the previous topic about the moon sighting. Here in Pakistan, people based on the fatwas are celebrating in a way that one person is having a roza on the same day and one person is celebrating Eid. You know that in Pakistan it happens a lot. That I don't know how to convince them.
Fatwa is useless. Even Maraji themselves say fatwa does not prove. Themselves say fatwa cannot prove moon because it's not the halal and haram issue. It's not something in hadith. Who has seen the fatwa? Who has seen the moon, right? People have seen it or not. It's not my fatwa. So you should rely on asking people who has seen the moon. And every person should go out, like in the evening, like 10 minutes before sunset. You go out, stand on your rooftop and look towards the west. A lot of times, by the time Maghrib comes, sun sits down. And after 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, between that span, about 45 minutes, 10 minutes before sunset to about 10 minutes after Maghrib namaz, 15 minutes. If you go look up at that time, you will see it only for a couple minutes. So all that time you have to be up there and watching. So you can see it a lot of times. So if you see it, that's it. If you see it yourself, that's it. That's it. And then also ask other people, if you don't see it, ask if somebody else has seen it. And if credible number of people see it, even if they're not Shia, doesn't matter. If they see it, they report that, yeah, we saw it. Lots of people saw it, hundreds of people, then that's it. That's Eid. Yeah. Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you so much, brother.
Okay. Just a
sure.
little one question. That might be a little off topic, but actually what I've seen that in some videos, maybe something not new, but I've seen in masajid when the people are in congregation, they are praying in congregation. The imam is actually praying inside a rectangular dug hole. I could not
that's
guess
because
that
the imam
what's
cannot
happening.
be higher. The imam cannot be higher than the people behind him. He could be at the same level, but he cannot be higher. So in Iran they dig a hole in big places, and big not in regular masajids, and big shrines, especially places where there are steps up and down. So they make sure that he is a little lower than the rest of the people.
Yeah, because I went in a mosque in Lahore. It was not a big mosque. It was a small one, and it was all leveled. But still, they had dug a hole, and actually the Imam was praying inside
when
that.
you step outside the hall, there are steps going down. That's why probably.
Yeah, that might be the
case. If the Jamaat goes into the courtyard, then so for them to be able to pray behind him. Yeah,
probably that's correct. That's correct. I got you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Allah bless you. Allah keep you well, brother Asim. Thank you. Thank you
please
for
keep prayer for me. Thank you.
Sure. Allah bless you. Okay.
Faizan, open your mic.
Faizan, come on over. I'll take brother Omar after this.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhana. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I'm based in the UK. I've come on here a few times. When you spoke to Adnan Rashid, when you were trying to arrange a debate with him, I came on straight after. Last time. So I've engaged with you and Brother Abu Dar a few times. How are you doing, Sheikh? Everything is good, inshallah.
Not bad. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. May Allah bless you.
I wanted to come up quickly while you were discussing with the Amr guy, and you made good points. I wanted to just mention to him that in the Quran, Nabi Yaqub alayhi salam cried so much for his son Yusuf that was still alive that he became blind. And he says this in the Quran.
Ahsan. Very good.
Yeah,
very well.
And to the point where he died, to the point, and Allah does not condemn him. Allah does not say, Yaqub, stop this, etc., etc. No. So Imam Zain al-Abidin, Sayyid Sajidin, Salamullah alayhi, in Tariq al-Madinah al-Damashq, when somebody asked him, he said, Yaqub alayhi salam cried for his son till he became blind, even though he hadn't passed away. I saw 17 of my family members slaughtered in front of me, and you're asking me, why am I crying? But you dealt with it well anyways, Shaykhana. You dealt with it well anyways, Shaykhana. I wanted to ask you just one small question, inshallah. You don't have to give an in-depth response now, inshallah. If later in the future you can touch on this, because Sheikh, with the whole Shia government thing, this, that, and the other, obviously I've seen your lectures and stuff in Urdu about it. There's nothing clear cut from the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam about establishing a hukumat during the Dhuhur of the Imam wa ajala Allah farajahum sharif. However, you had certain, of course, look, Allah can aid this religion through a fasik, right? Now I'm not saying the person was infallible, but he done maybe some good, some bad, like Shah Ismail.
Allah supports this religion through a fasiq. That's a Bukhari hadith. That's not Shia hadith.
Oh, okay, it's not a Shia. Okay, sorry, my bad. I think I've heard it through a Shia alim before. I can't remember who, but I've heard it that Allah can.
Yeah, that's Allah. Inna Allah la yu'ayyidu hadha ad-din bil-rajul al-fajir. That's Umari hadith. Yeah.
Nah, okay, no problem, inshallah. So, what would you say about someone like Shah Ismail, for example, Sheikh?
So like that is good. If a king comes, if any person does good things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For the Shia madhab, of course we support that. Of course we welcome that. If right now, I don't care, Vladimir Putin or Trump or the Canadian Prime Minister, he establishes a Shia university, give us funding. Okay, this fund we give to the Shia to establish a university to teach madhab of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. We would welcome that. That would be good. We will say thank you, sir. It's very good. So if a king or a ruler or a president or any person, he decides to support the Shia madhab, protect the Shia madhab, or promote the Shia madhab and give protection to Shias, that is a very, very good thing. Obviously, you have to be insane to reject that.
Okay, subhanallah.
But it doesn't make his government Islamic. Obviously, it doesn't mean that his government is sanctioned by Allah. He is doing something good, but it doesn't mean that he's a legitimate leader, that he came to power through legitimate ways, and all his other actions, he's killed his enemies and he has imprisoned innocent people. All the other stuff is good. It doesn't mean that. It just means this action is really good. We appreciate that, regardless of his other actions, right? Like Safavid kings, they did a lot of things. They killed their cousins, or they killed their opponents and massacred them and put him down. But they did all the good things also. So it doesn't make that their rule was ideal, but they did good things for madhab. So we have, like Halaku Khan. Halaku was not Muslim. Halaku was
Yes,
Halaku was
yes.
Mughal, and he came and he destroyed the Abbasid Caliph.
Yes, that's correct.
Abbasid
Yes, he was a
Caliphate, and
Ghazi.
he put him down, and it gave the Shia a good opportunity to a good breathing space. So that was a good
Shaykhana, I want
thing.
to,
Or like
in
the
regards to this, I
U.S.
want to
came,
ask
the U.S. came to Iraq in 2003 and deposed Saddam, right?
Yeah.
If the U.S. had not deposed Saddam right now, Saddam or Saddam's son, they would be ruling Iraq right now. They would be ruling and killing and persecuting Shias. So nobody would have been able to depose. Iraqis would never have been able to rise up against Saddam and depose him through a popular revolution. Yeah. So that was a very good thing. We thank George Bush. Thank you, sir. But it doesn't mean that all other things he did were good, right? Or the U.S. came and threw away the Taliban in 2001 in Afghanistan. That was excellent. I wish they hope they do it again. Yeah. And I wish, I wish they go also to Suba Sarhad and finish off Taliban there too. But those are just wishes, right?
Inshallah, Shaykhana, inshallah.
But if they do in Saudi Arabia, that'll be really nice.
Yeah,
if Europeans they decide to conquer Saudi Arabia, and establish do some elections there, because Shia is a big number there. That'll be so nice.
That's correct.
Yeah, so correct. a lot of times somebody's not Muslim, he can do some very good things. Yeah.
Sheikh, I want to ask about Umayyad ruler Umar bin Abdul Aziz, because now
so he was an accursed person. He was an enemy of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. He displayed piety in order to fool people. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam said, people on earth praise him, people in the heavens curse him. Okay?
And what about the son of Yazid, Muawiyah ibn Yazid?
So Muawiyah ibn Yazid was a good individual. He was a good individual. He condemned his father, and he condemned his grandfather, and he did not take Khilafah because it was not his right. Yeah. So, and there are evidence that Bani Umayyah killed him for that reason. Okay.
Okay, shukran, Sheikh.
Okay, may Allah bless you, lucky dua.
That's all.
We have
Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Omar Motiwala.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, brother? Not bad. Thank you so much. May Allah bless you.
Your prayers, mashallah. Are you okay? You're doing good. Family is good.
Good. Not bad. Thank you. Thank you for coming. How are things in London?
Yeah, things are good. Alhamdulillah. Just been enjoying the up and down of the weather. Hot and cold at the same time, which is amazing.
MashaAllah. May Allah bless you.
MashaAllah. I hope the English channel which you're doing, I hope it reaches the volumes, and I hope it reaches the way it is supposed to be for the languages that it is now being spoken to a lot of people, and a lot of people are understanding it in a way where I hope we are able to create an impact where we actually give the message of unity and peace to everybody, inshallah. Inshallah.
If you bring some Omari Maulvis for debates, that'll be nice.
I have none.
From the UK, there are lots of them in the UK, right? Omaris.
I think they are. I think it's just what I feel is I think the youngsters, the young generation, I don't think they see any sort of difference, or they even ponder upon the difference, because the life has been so busy with a lot of people that they hardly want to understand what is religion as a concept, right? And once it is told to them the way it has been told to us, they get confused, and that's the problem. And probably that's the whitewash you're trying to do, at the same time that you're trying to make them understand that this concept of wrong understanding of religion that we have been taught is needed to be undone, right? So this, I think, the Maulvis that probably we have, I personally speaking, I'm very much aloof in that sense. When I'm like, say for example, if I'm in a mosque, and if there is something which is very unmosqueness, it doesn't affect me good. So I hope they listen to you, and I hope they want to come to you in a way that they want to learn something, and they come out with a good and healthy point of view for themselves to understand what is good and what is wrong, and what has been wrong and what should be good. Inshallah.
MashaAllah.
Inshallah.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Brother Omar.
Thank you.
May Allah bless you. Allah keep you well. Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay. Brothers, would you allow me to say goodbye to everybody? Mustafa Hussain, can I take you next night, inshallah? You don't mind? Okay. We'll take next callers who've been waiting, inshallah, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, okay? We'll do another session. So it's been 3 hours. Allow me to bid farewell to all of you. Say, Ya Hussein, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The most beautiful name, most beloved name. Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Omaris don't understand. They don't know. They can't feel this. Right? What would for instance, a rock know about the beauty of a good story or a love letter? If you read a love letter, right, to a rock, if I read a love letter to this cup, would it know? Would it realize what is this, the feeling, the emotion, the beauty in the love letter is? No, this cup wouldn't know. He don't know. Omaris don't know. Omaris don't realize who is Imam Hussein alayhi salam, what his name does to our hearts. They don't know. They don't know what is Karbala. Aha, subhanallah. What is the nur? What is the light, the illumination, the love, the affection, the captivation by Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Why Shias, 1400 years, they mention the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and they shed tears. And they mention Karbala and they shed tears. And they say, oh, you're losing your patience. Oh, sabr, sabr, sabr. You are idiots. You don't know. You're idiot. This is love. Love is for the human beings. This is Hussein alayhi salam. Hussein. Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam. When a Shia says, Ya Hussein, there's a storm of love, a storm of affection, a storm of emotions that overtakes his heart, his whole being. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم لعنهم جميعا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Take care. We'll see you inshallah. And please, these nights of Ramadan, only 2 more nights left, or 3 more at most, right? Take advantage of these nights, of these dawn hours, morning hours, days. Do istighfar, because of your istighfar, Allah will take you to paradise. You will enter Jannah because of your istighfar. Your parents, your children, you all will be fortunate for eternity. So please do not miss these hours. Please do istighfar, please do tawbah, please ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for refuge from his anger and admit to your sins. Wake up in the middle of the night. It's okay to lose a few hours of sleep. And if it brings you eternal peace, eternal pleasure, eternal blessings of paradise. So wake up, get up, pray a few rak'at, open Mafatih al-Jinan, recite some du'as from Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam, recite Munajat 15, recite Dua Mujir, Dua Mustashir, Dua Abu Hamza al-Thumali, various du'as of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam. If you cannot read the whole dua, a couple of pages thereof, read it. If you cannot read Arabic, read it in your language, English or French or whatever, or Urdu, whatever language you speak. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and admit your sins and put your face on the ground and say, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. I've been such a bad person. And you have been such a good Lord. Always you have shown love to me. Always you have showered me with blessings. And I've never been thankful. And every day, every hour, I've ignored you. And ignored your might, ignored your majesty, ignored your presence, ignored that all blessings come from you, that I'm living every minute immersed in blessings from you. And I've always defied you shamelessly and always disrespected you. I'm ashamed, my Lord. I'm embarrassed. Forgive me. Forgive me. If you don't forgive me, I have nowhere to go. I cannot be punished by you. My good Lord, you have all these blessings that you have always given me. Now you're going to punish me. You don't need to punish me. You don't need to punish me. Your kingdom, your might is just as good without punishing me. So please forgive me. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. My errors, my forgetfulness, my lack of gratitude. So pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pray to these nights that the Lord has opened the gateways and asking you to ask for forgiveness, so He admits you amongst those individuals who are blessed with His forgiveness. So give Him a reason. Raise your hands high and say, please forgive me, my Lord. And from the depth of your heart, and say it again and again and again. Okay? And cry and weep. If you cannot cry, then remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein cry for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When you start crying for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, then turn to Allah and say, Ya Allah, for the sake of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, forgive me, forgive my transgressions, forgive my sins. And remember your sins. And thank Allah, Ya Allah. All this time, every day, every hour, every minute, I've been so disrespectful to you. Living in these oceans and oceans and oceans of your grace and your blessings, yet without gratitude, without recognizing you, without recognizing your blessings, and without being thankful, and always forgetting about you. And you were in the right. You would have been right to punish me long time ago. But you tolerated me. You did not send your punishment upon me. You let me live, so I may have a chance to turn. Now I've come to your door. You've forgiven people before me. You've forgiven many millions of people before me, and you are going to keep forgiving millions after me. So what harm would you do? That me, I've come to you. Me, that the one you created, and I was a baby and you took care of me. And now I'm old. Now I've come to my senses, that I realize that I've been a very bad person. I've been bad to my family. I've bad to my parents. I haven't had gratitude. So please, this is your month. You asked us to come to you to ask for forgiveness. Now, please, on the name of the glorious name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on the glorious name of Imam Ali alayhi salam, on the glorious name of Fatima al-Zahra, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam al-Asr, Sahib al-Zaman alayhi salam, 12 Imams alayhi salam. This ashamed servant of yours, please forgive him, and forgive my parents, and forgive my family members, and forgive my children, and forgive my relatives who have passed away. And enter us into your paradise, and give us everything that's good in this life, and save us from everything that's bad, that's miserable, that's distasteful in this life. So inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala, please do not miss this huge sales that Allah has. Sales, bargain sale. That for a few hours of the dawn before Fajr, you buy eternal happiness. What a good bargain, what a good sale, what a good Lord we have. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this opportunity. So please take advantage of this and say salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.